What a show we got tonight. This is what we've been waiting for. Big show tonight. And, it wouldn't be a big show without some technical difficulties behind the scenes. And luckily, I was able to figure this all out with 5 minutes before 7 o'clock here in New York. Guys, please do hit that like button as you guys kind of shuffle in here. Tweet it out. Let everybody know that we are live here in New York. We got a great show for you. We've got some gaming news that we're going to kind of move towards the back of the show because we have the latest breaking news, which is the PlayStation State of Play. I was very curious once the show was over. I've got my list here. I already know that the panel has their list of what they're looking forward to. Some of the pros, maybe some of the cons. We'll see what they thought about it. But overall, I was surprised. I saw some of the biggest critics on the Twitter gaming sites saying absolutely the best things about the show. So I was actually very shocked. I haven't seen positive reviews on a show in a very long time. So I'm very excited to hear what the panel thinks. I'm going to hear what you guys in the audience think. By the way, shout out real quick to Ocelot. He sent a quick super chat before we went live. He said, "What's up, Mooch? State of Play was an A+. Let's effing go." Listen, I got to tell you right now, I think you're going to get a lot of that, Ocelot, from the panel, but I'm interested in what games hit each of these panel members just right. Guys, please do hit that, like I say, like button. Tweet it out. Let everybody know that we are live. Look at that fantastic description right above. It's the join button. Please consider joining us. It's going to be an outstanding show. Very excited to have this great panel with us. I'll start with the one and only. You guys know him as Death Singer. He may stay as one of your favorites. We'll find out after tonight's show. We're not sure, but we'll find out after tonight's show. Right, crap? So, Death Singer, what do you think, Death Singer?
That was a good one, Mooch. That was a good one.
Crap, I do my best, I'm trying not to lose that humor gene of mine. So,
That was funny, though. That was good.
Death Singer.
Where did you buy those jeans?
Right, where did you buy those jeans? Wise. We're already starting with an A+ show. Death Singer, welcome to the show, buddy. How you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing great. I mean, I already put a tiny little bit of what I thought about on the show out on Twitter.
Yes.
And, it's as reasonable as it can be for me, and especially in the way I look at games, my taste in games. So we'll get into it in the show, but I'm sure it's going to piss some people off.
Just a few. Just a few.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day. I mean, I'm too busy playing Mugenics, a 90 rated banger first of the year. So I really don't give a shit.
You're going to turn Jay Barry to drinking early tonight with those comments, but I love it, Death Singer. That's why I love having you here, buddy. Shout out to Mirko to Super Chasers. I've been looking forward modern, oh my God, Castlevania ever since Metroid Dead. Don't get me started. Shout out to Brian East right there. The great Jay Barry with the support. He says, hey, hit that like button, y'all. It's going to be a movie tonight. Yes, it is. The great Jay Barry joining us. Actually, let's go right to him. The great Jay Barry's with us. Jay, I know you're all fired up from the pre-show. I wanted you to save some of that heat for the show, buddy. How you doing tonight?
I'm fired up, man. Death Singer done pissed me off once again, y'all.
He did it early.
Shins will be kicked this episode. He already saying that he's playing a facial product, Mugenics. That sounds like a facial product, don't it?
Yes, it does.
That sounds like something that you put in your hair that's to get the dandruff out.
You already know.
At the end of the day, man, it's going to be a good show today. Wonderful state of play, man. I'm in a good mood. Nobody can set me off right now. I'm in a good mood.
As so you should
Singer,
be.
I promise you, Death Singer, I need you to send me a
Can I try?
Send me your listen.
Can I try?
Send me your coordinates because if y'all piss me off today, Shins will be kicked.
Yeah,
okay.
The developer direct was better.
There he goes, Wise.
Did that work?
I don't know if it'll work. It might by the end of the show, though, Wise. Great to have the great Jay Barry with us. Wise, you chimed in. Wise, great to have you here. Wise, I know you say you're only going to stay for an hour, but in Mooch time, that's literally going to be about 120 minutes. Nonetheless, and that's math. That's simple math. Wise, welcome back to the show, buddy. Right, exactly. Hopefully the classroom's not listening right now. Wise, shout out to Wise. Wise, thanks for being here tonight, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing great playing Dragon Quest VII Remake. I'm 20 hours into a 400-hour game.
Nice.
So, yeah, I'm pretty much starting the game. And Castlevania, baby!
Oh,
my fucking God!
Don't get me started.
Oh, my fucking God.
Castlevania. 5 out of 10.
My God. 5 out of 10.
Yeah, my camera's on. You see it, right? There you go.
I see it. We see it. I gotta talk the panel into getting on camera. We'll try and get them on there, but we see you, Mike. We see you.
Then Legacy of Kain Defiance remake? My God. And then you want to finish it off with the God of War trilogy remake. Stick a fork in me, motherfuckers. I'm done. There you go.
So they delivered. There's some of Wise. It's great to have Wise here with us. The great Wise is with us. Speaking of great people, we got him back on the show, buddy. I love having the great crap gamer on the show. It not only brings back that nostalgia, which is a hell of a drug, but to have crap here and to hear what his take is on the PlayStation State of Play. Because I know there was a couple of games, as I saw them being on air, I said to myself, I think crap might like some of this stuff, which is great to hear. Crap, welcome back to the show, buddy. How you doing?
That's a legend. That's a legend.
Hey,
yes, sir.
You know, I'm good, man. It was good to see. I'll be honest, and I know probably maybe some other people feel this way, but Metal Gear Solid 4 finally getting updated and brought to the modern console is huge because, believe it or not, that was the game that I originally bought a PlayStation 3 for, and it was still stuck on the PS3 officially. Like it was not on PC. It was nowhere else. You couldn't get that game anywhere officially. It was on, and I would break out my PS3 and play it at least once a year. Like, that's how much I like that game. And to see it finally be able to come to, the PlayStation 5, and stuff like that, that's incredible to me because I like that series. Like, I've always enjoyed that series. But surprisingly, I was also kind of intrigued by John Wick. I love those movies. And, that was very interesting. It sounds like Keanu's going to voice him, too. So, that's like double good. I thought, the original God of War series coming back, I think that's awesome. Like, here's the thing. You've got to be able to have your game, like the games like that in an updated fashion, in my opinion, right? It's like, you don't want to lose that stuff. It's like, and that happens too often nowadays, where games like, I'm looking at it and I know some people might complain because they go, hey, well, the God of War collection, that was already an HD thing. Yeah, they did an HD like remasters of God of War 1 and 2 on the PlayStation 3 20 years ago.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's like, but now it's like you're going to be able to play them amazingly well on current hardware, and it's going to be even better. So, and they're going to be complete remakes. So I think that's important too. Like, remake it where it makes sense. I know like sometimes remakes get a little bit of a bad rap or whatever, but like for game preservation sakes, I think it makes sense. Introduce new people. Maybe people didn't even play that. Maybe people only know God of War as it is now, but it was awesome back in the day. So bring that back. I hope they keep all the raunchy stuff though. I hope they don't like cut that stuff out.
Right.
That's like my only kind of concern.
Yes.
There's a lot of stuff. There's like sex mini games. There's all kinds of crazy stuff in God of War games,
Yes,
right? Like,
is.
I hope they keep that stuff. Otherwise, it's going to be, I think it probably won't be the same. I know it's like supposedly a different time or whatever, but it's still an M-rated game. Just do the M-rated shit.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Just keep that stuff. So like that to me, like I'm excited about that stuff. Like a lot of stuff look good. Like how many Silent Hill games are there now? Like we didn't get Silent Hill for
Crap,
years.
I can't get enough of them though. I beat F. I'm looking forward to Town Hall. I think
maybe I should get back into them. Like I played the original ones back in the day. And now it's like I have and it looked interesting, right? I was like, hey, that looks pretty interesting, and like just the stuff that they were doing. Like I will say this, if you want looking for me to kind of complain about one thing, it's like don't announce PC shit at a PlayStation conference, right? Like that to me,
they did it. I didn't think it was over the top. It was a couple of games. It wasn't over the top. And I do have a question, Crap. I'm going to come back to you in a second because I do have. There was one thing that I really want to see what your thoughts are on this. But I want to get Nib in here. Nib, I see you're on your PlayStation, which means he's probably he's on his 350th hour of Kingdom Come Deliverance. But listen, Neb, it's great to have you.
I've beaten it now.
You've beaten that one.
So I beat Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I beat Ken. I almost have my platinum. I think I have 2 trophies left in Highguard, 50 plus hours. And now I'm like quite deeply through Nioh 3. I think I'm like 30 hours into Nioh 3.
I saw you're 30 hours into Nioh 3.
Yeah.
My lord, my God, I'm just a little over 10 and you're killing
so basically, me. It's kind of because my wife is expecting basically anytime this, well, to be honest, her due date is today. So,
congrats,
Nib. Yeah, thank you. I mean, she hasn't given good birth yet. So I took time off to, help out with this. But in the end, it's kind of
been
Nioh time.
A gamer's paradise.
With pregnancies, right?
Literally.
What helps?
Do you know what helps with pregnancies?
What's that, Wise?
Sex mini games.
I see. Thank God Wise is on here and telling it's going to be a great show. Listen, great to have you here. I guess, so Crap, you kind of got into a little bit. And guys, take a look at the list. If you want, actually, I'm going to actually copy and paste the list into our Crossfire DM.
If you go to my X,
yes.
I've done like a mini review of it. In that tweet, I'm not saying it to like plug myself, but
that's all right.
Basically, has a list of all the games, and then a quick
Nib, will you do me a favor while I ask Crap this question? Will you go ahead and put that into the Crossfire DM that you're in there? That way they can see and scroll.
Mooch.
Yeah.
I'll actually raise Nib a tweet. I got a notepad open right now with all the games listed on it.
Well, you can throw that in there too.
That might be too much information.
That might be a bit too much. I wonder if your notes will be in there, Death Singer.
Racer, Mooch.
What's that?
Star Wars Galactic Racers.
Buddy, don't get me started. That reminded me of the old racer game we had. Was that on the SNES? Where was it we played that?
We had
pod
racing on N64,
N64,
and Dreamcast, and
yes.
then they re-released it on I think like PS4, Xbox One and stuff. So and the Switch. But this is like a brand new game that looks absolutely incredible. It looks absolutely incredible. So like I'm excited for it. And they showed like Ben Quadranero's. Like I'm a big fan of like the pod racing stuff and all that stuff from like the original.
I'll be honest.
It looks great.
These kind of games aren't usually my cup of tea. Like obviously I played Wipeout and F-Zero and stuff. But this is like, the thing that really compels me about this is we've never really had this level of fidelity in AAA. Like, and some of the vistas, and they've got the vibe of the Star Wars world so well done. Like with Star Destroyers, like, you know, sanded up in the background that have been derelict for ages, and just when you do jumps and just seeing everything like vast distances and draw distances, I think they've got the feel of it down spectacularly. So yeah, even though these aren't usually my type of games, like I think I probably will get this, but it's one of those, like I put out a tweet the other day about how I think this could be probably the best year for entertainment media in history. And I don't just mean games, I mean like everything, TV shows, movies. You see some of I think there's like 25 films I want to watch.
Yeah.
And there's like 29 games I want to buy. Probably more, because there's a lot of announcements coming all the time, including today. And think about that. When I calculate it, it's over £2,000 worth of stuff I need to spend. Like,
oh my god,
oh my god! And so it's like bloody hell. Like, I tell you what, I'm so glad physical still exists on console, because if I wasn't able to sell or trade in some of these games, I probably wouldn't be able to do it all. But yeah, it's just insane. Like, too much to play. I don't know.
I agree with you. I agree with you, Nib. But I want to just address. So, Aaron, I appreciate Aaron being here. I know a lot of people in the chat don't like you. Aaron, I appreciate you being here. He goes, "What does it say when a remake is the best thing shown at your show?" Aaron, you have to remind yourself of something. I know you are you go to a lot of different podcasts. You're always in the community on X. Here's my thing. People constantly are asking to play these older games, and they want them brought up to today's technology. So the fact that we got an unbelievable even keel number of games that were new coming in 2026 and games that are beloved by so many people that are going to get remade and brought up to 2026 standards on new technology, that's a recipe for success when you're talking about a hardcore gaming community like we are.
Wait,
like,
who said that? Who said that?
Aaron in the chat.
That's a terrible take. He should be banned from the chat for like 30 minutes.
Mary, don't ban him. Mary might ban him for that one.
Horrible. Sometimes you gotta put some order in here, man.
You gotta put some order.
Horrible and
Judge Bari is spoken. No, great to have Jay. So Crap, I'll ask you this, and then listen, we're gonna go through everybody here, what they loved, what they wanted to see, maybe that wasn't there, or something maybe they didn't like. But Crap, the one thing I want to say to you was, back in the day, we used to see PlayStation and Xbox both go exclusive, whether it was console, right? Now the thing, I don't know if you guys all saw it on the bottom, they don't say that anymore because, like you were saying, a lot of these games are probably also going to PC day one, but, right, as far as the third-party games, but a lot of them said being developed for PlayStation 5. And I was wondering if that's the new way of saying console exclusive. Are a lot of these games also going to go to Xbox, you think, or Switch? Or no, these are being developed for PlayStation 5. Of course, they'll go to PC as well. Like John Wick, for example, or a couple of these other games that were third party.
Yeah, John Wick, they already announced that is going to be like on Xbox as well.
They said it's everywhere. I didn't look through Twitter.
Like,
I went live right after just about, so I was getting everything ready. I didn't see everything.
Like the new Kena game that's on PlayStation and PC.
And PC, yep.
Same with Silent Hill as well.
Silent Hill as well.
Yeah.
Silent Hill's not going to Xbox according to some of the reports I'm getting now.
Now the rumors are the 2D God of War is also multi-platform as well. The 2D God of War.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
The 2D is not?
No. That was a rumor.
That was a rumor.
That was a rumor. It came out before the show, and it almost got debunked before the show.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not. It's like, I don't know. It's like, to me, I get that it's just a small little game, but why would you... Maybe Sony's listed in a little bit with that stuff. I don't know. It's just like, like, how can you be, and I warned about this years ago. I was like, how can you be, you have a console, right? And I said, like, Microsoft's putting all their stuff on PC. If Sony puts all their stuff on PC, like, there could be people that just will go the PC route, which, I mean, that kills your score. Like, if you're Sony and you're making the most money you are right now, and you've got a good stranglehold on your people, Microsoft's like self-imploding on themselves, and and they're basically paying you 30% of whatever they're putting on your platform just to put it on the platform. Then you're going to be in a pretty good state. So I think they're setting themselves up for a very good, run or what. Like, I got to be honest, Mooch, I've been playing I finally set myself to online when I'm on PlayStation.
I saw you. I was gonna bother you, but then
I got inundated with messages. People were like, "Hey, man, what's up?" I was like, "Oh yeah," like I just had my stuff set to offline for years, and I've been playing, and it's I've been having a blast with the Pro, and I actually just picked up Ghost of Yotei. I buy physical on the PS5, like that's just a me thing. Because I don't know, it just seems like with what's happened, it kind of opened my eyes, and I don't know, I'm almost 100% sure Sony with the PS6 will they'll do the same thing they did with the PS5 Pro. Like, you'll be able to switch out your disk drive.
I agree.
That's the proper way thing. I don't think Microsoft's going to do that. So, whatever you have physically, you're just fucked. You know what I mean? So, like, to me, like, and I always complain about this. I'm like, so I got a Series X. I've got 1,600 digital games on there. If I'm not buying their next PC or whatever, like, I'm really kind of screwed. I could sell my Xbox, but I'm not going to get anything for the games that are digitally tied to my thing, where if something ever happened and I had to sell my PlayStation, my games are at least worth something. You get 100 games, you know what I mean? 100 physical games. Hell, even my 360 games and original Xbox games are worth something.
Yes.
So it's like, like that's how kind of I look at it anyway. But yeah, like what the stuff that they were showing, I thought this was the best state of play in years. I would still hope that they do like a big all-out summer showcase too, with like a lot of first-party stuff. I'd like to see something like that. Show off Wolverine a little bit more, that Venom game. Show Galactic some gameplay. They got some stuff that they can show off for sure. But I just thought it was interesting that they have still paying for timed exclusive content. And the way that they're doing, I still think that it's funny that they're doing that, because like they don't have to at this point, but yet they're still doing it, and it's just like such a smash in the face to like a lot of the Xbox fans, because they're like, they think Sony's going to start putting all this stuff on Xbox, and that shit's not happening.
No,
it's not going to happen,
no.
And Microsoft doesn't pay to get third-party exclusives or third-party deals or timed content or anything like that. Sony's still going out there and doing that, even though they don't probably have to do that, because nobody in their right mind is ever going to switch to Xbox. Like, nobody, like when the PS2 was coming out, goes, I'm not gonna get that PS2. I'm gonna get that Dreamcast. I'm not knocking the Dreamcast because it was a good console, right? But you're not going to go, I'm going to go and get me an Xbox. Like, nobody's going to do that, knowing what they know about where Xbox and Microsoft are at right now. So it wouldn't make sense.
That's an interesting point. I was thinking about this actually the other day. I think, like, at this point, if PlayStation partners with a game, they're not really doing it anymore to keep it off Xbox. They're doing it because if it's a success, they want to control the IP. because obviously when they publish games, usually like 50% of the time they have a controlling stake in the IP as well, and then 50% usually when it's a bigger publisher, they don't have an agreement with the IP, you know, like, so for example a Nioh, but then other times they do. So yeah, that's why even with the Square Enix thing, like, you know, Square Enix is going to do multi-platform games. I'm not sure at that point if it's because it's a decision that Square Enix have made, or it's just PlayStation being like, yeah, we don't need to spend 50 to 100 million to make these games exclusives anymore because no one's buying the competitive.
Right, exactly. You know, that makes a good point, and that was one of my questions. You guys kind of answered it for me. Shout out, by the way, to Anonymous for sending out those Mooch Maniac family memberships. It's a lot of M's, but nonetheless, I want to say thanks a lot. I appreciate that. Shout out to the OA early. I appreciate the super chat. He says, Mooch, I'm agnostic myself, but seeing Sony stop in from of that crypt and shout. I apologize if I'm reading that wrong or you typed it quick, away. He says, I command thee to rise from the gravel. And then Konami comes out with all the games made me rethink of the way that my life, and I'm here for it. You know, Konami hits home, I think, guys, for a lot of us, right? When it comes to some of these older games. And I was actually shocked. You guys know I've been very vocal about this. I haven't played a lot of the Metal Gear games, even back in the day. Shame on me, right? Now there's a chance between Volume 1, Volume 2. And that was kind of one of my questions for Jay Bari. Jay, I'm actually eagerly anticipating what your score was and the games you were looking forward to. But the Metal Gear games getting Volume 1, Volume 2 remade in that order, and for folks that either played it a very long time ago or for some that didn't play it at all, I mean, that's an immediate grab. And I think Metal Gear, I think they said Metal Gear Snake, what was it, is on sale today. They put it on sale half price. Yeah, so if you didn't buy it, right, why not go and grab that?
Get Snake Eater, dude. It is such a good remake.
Yeah, Snake Eater. Thank you.
Like,
yes.
Yeah. I got it on the Pro, man. I got it on the Pro. It's phenomenal, man. It is. It's great.
What's the order? And go ahead, Crap. I'll let you finish your thought. I'm going to hear what Jay's thoughts are of the order of that. But
you know, here's the thing. So, like, Metal Gear Solid 1 is like, it really depends. Like Kojima, yeah, that's the first one, and then the second one is kind of a swerve where you're not, you know, you only play as Snake at the beginning, and then you're playing as Raiden the rest of the way. Third is actually a prequel to the first, right? And then fourth is the Guns of the Patriots is like the ending basically of the mainline trilogy because Snake is old, and you know, but that one is just fantastic. They're all so good, man. But 3 is good because it kind of tells you fills in a lot of the plot holes and stuff like that of the original ones. Now, the original one, I saw that they enhanced the resolution for that, but I just wonder why they don't come out with this version called Twin Stakes, right? Just come out with that one. It was such a better version than the PlayStation 1 version. It was the GameCube version where they even re-recorded some of the lines. Now, maybe that could be the problem. It was like GameCube exclusive, but like you could easily remaster that, and that was like amazing in comparison, you know, because obviously that's much better tech and stuff like that than the PlayStation 1. But yeah, those games are awesome. You know, they're very Kojima-like, but they're stealth. But there's different ways you can go about it, right? Like I'll tell you, in the newer one, in the remake of 3. You could do more modern controls where it's more over the shoulder. I think that's probably how you would prefer to play it. And that's easier nowadays. Like it's super easy to kind of get, whereas before the controls could be looked at as being a little bit clunky. So yeah, but I love those games, man. They're amazing.
Yeah, you know, and shout out to Highlander, member for 8 months. I appreciate that. He says, great state of play we've had greatest state of play we've had in a while. 007 looks fantastic.
Finally, they nailed it. Yeah.
I want to say this, and I told the panel this, and I think Nib was a little upset when I said this. I said this about a month ago. I said, you know what? I'm probably going to put 007 on the back burner. I have gone in and watched since I said that more and more of that game. I don't know if I'm necessarily going to skip that. I think that might be on my list of must plays, and it depends on where I know it lands somewhere, I believe in May. Yeah. So as long as it's not something that kind of overlaps, but I think that's going to go into a summer swoon session. I don't know if there's something big coming out in June that I'm missing on my radar. But my point, I think 007's making the list now, Nib.
Another thing as well, I'm sure they did it intentionally because there was some conversation about, like, you know, from the standard people about how this is going to be like too woke and it's not. And you could see they made it a point in this trailer to show some sexy women, basically. Like,
yeah, no, it looks
cleavage great and hotties, and it's like, you know, I think they're saying, look, steady on. Like maybe these women will be more capable or whatever, but they're still going to be everything that makes.
I wanted to make sure that this team that made a lot of the Hitman, if not all the Hitman games, if they really would deviate and move themselves away from that formula. I know it's very similar, but they could still make it so much better and build off of it. The Hitman series seemed to be, for me, a little bit slow, a little too slow for my liking. That's me. It's just a personal thing. This one here looks like it's got the story is there, the action is there, the stealth is there, but not too much stealth. There's enough there where there's the car action, there's that unbelievable explosion and fight that goes on at the airport. There's so many different scenes we've seen. The game seems to really kind of open up in the different areas. Then it has some linearity in some of the stealth stuff. I really like that. I think they're doing a lot of things right over there. So I think I'm going to give that my undivided attention. The great Jay Bari, I wonder what you're thinking here. Anonymous says, great panel, Mooch. Let's get it going. Hit that like button. Guys, hit that like button for sure. I appreciate it.
To talk about 007, I feel like that game is going to be a fun, great time. Like I always thought that with the game, it's just the performance looked a little rough.
It's growing on me though, Jay.
I wasn't really worried about the whole sex appeal and charming.
I was afraid it was going to be boring. And I know people hear me say that. They think we're crazy when we say that, Jay. But like if you played Hitman, sometimes if you play Hitman and after 10 o'clock at night, you're guaranteed to fall asleep by 10:30. So I didn't want that to happen, Jay. This one looks like they've really doubled down on this thing.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of stuff you can do within that world, playing as Bond, you know what I mean? So it looks like a fun time. But what was your first question that you asked?
My first question is just what did you think of the show, Jay? Because listen, you've been critical on State of Plays in the past. So this isn't, everyone thinks, oh, Jay Bari likes PlayStation, so this is definitely a 10 out of 10. There's been other shows you've been pretty damn critical on PlayStation, saying this is not what I wanted to see. Okay, you'd say, I like this one game you showed, credit to you there, but why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? What did you think about this one overall, and what games really stood out? I mean, there's so many to go over.
This State of Play was a perfect way to start out the year, because they did a great job letting people know what's to come from first party or big partnered games for PlayStation 5 in 2026. This is one of those early 2020 type conversations or not showcases, but they're letting first party know in a full clip, here's what we got, and it's coming out pretty soon. You know what I mean? So yeah, like the fact that first party been pretty quiet, the fact that in 2026 is a stark difference of the release cadence of PlayStation first party games to now this year. This year I made a tweet where I listed off probably like over 10 games that's coming out from PlayStation, that's publishing from PlayStation just in 2026. You know what I mean? Or they have like a PlayStation partnership in 2026, or it's like a exclusive game that came out for PlayStation in 2026. It's kind of ridiculous how much games is coming out, and we just got a stealth release game today from first party, and from so far what I'm playing is pretty good too. So,
nice.
I rated the State of Play a 9.5 out of 10. There was some disappointments there where, I didn't hear nothing from Square Enix, but, that was like wishful thinking. Like I didn't really expect them to be there, but I kind of just wanted them to be there to announce, let's get the name for the remake part 3 or anything, Kingdom Hearts, anything like that. But like I said, that was like over the top type prediction or just wishful thinking. But yeah, the fact of how the show flowed, you had the little conversations here and there talking about PlayStation Plus, the games that's coming to PlayStation Plus. You have a big one like Spider-Man 2. I felt like the pace of the game shown, the way how they did the whole block for Konami, and Konami, they talk about the Metal Gear Master Collection Part 2, which we kind of knew that was coming, but it looked good. And I was saying in my stream that Metal Gear Solid 4 still holds up. Like if you boot that game up on your PlayStation 3, if you have your PlayStation 3 and you have the game, it will still look good. It looked like they fine-tuned a little bit here, the textures here and there, but the game still holds up. You know what I mean? I love the Metal Gear series, one of my favorite series of all time. But yeah, also announcing new games. You know what I mean? They had a new RPG there. I forgot the name of it. It was like something Rise. It was something Rise Color something. I'll find it.
You mean Rev Noir? Rev Noir. Yeah,
that looked dope. New Silent Hill game. I'm not the biggest Silent Hill fan like that.
Well,
but,
and I apologize, Jay. I don't mean to cut you off. I'm going to give you the mic right back. But there's a showcase going on right now or it just ended. And the thing is, I played through Silent Hill F, and there's certain times that some games, and Resident Evil does this to a certain extent too, right? Like when Resident Evil went down to, I'm going to say it was Louisiana. I can't remember where Biohazard took place, but they went down there and they did that family, right? And that whole thing. And of course, they tied it back in at the end with Umbrella and a bit of this and that. But my point being is that Silent Hill F took a real kind of left turn. And the minute I saw Townfall, the second I saw that, I said, I didn't need more than what? Maybe name that tune in 3 notes. It was 3 seconds, and I'm like, Silent Hill. And I'm like, we just played a Silent Hill game. This game goes back to a little bit more of its roots, I think. And I think a lot of Silent Hill fans are going to be excited to play Townfall. But go ahead, Jay. I apologize. I really think that I'm okay with another Silent Hill right now.
Yeah, I mean, it looked good. Looked
great.
I'm happy that people get to play another Silent Hill. You know what I mean? But I'm not too much interested, but it's cool that they announced another Silent Hill game and it's coming out this year. Then we got a new Castlevania game. You know what I mean? So the Konami block was cool. I felt like the surprises there at the show was great because I did not see a John Wick game. I know we have one right now, but it's like a puzzle type game. And at the end of the day, when people think about John Wick, they want that action, type of beat 'em up type game like what we've seen here. It looked like Keanu Reeves is doing the voice acting and what's the motion capture, because they nailed. Did you see that? Movement. Yes. I was like, yo, they got his movement and everything perfected here. Like he got to be doing the motion cap.
Absolutely.
And then one of the biggest surprises, because this was a conversation we was talking about previously, that's in the PlayStation community or in prior videos that I put out there. Kana. We haven't heard nothing from Ember Labs in a long while. It's been 5 years. And they announced a new Kana game to start the show off. I was so shocked. I was like, what?
Yep.
This is crazy. And it's looking good. It's looking like they learned their lessons too from the first game because it's looking faster. The parry also has like a 2-sequence parry in it. I know people was complaining about the parry, but listen, y'all gotta get good. That's all it is. But anyway, it looks like they fixed the parry as far as how people want the parry. Listen, I'm super excited for that. I can go on all day. Oh, another one before I shut up. I don't want to go all day.
No, speak your mind.
I know we're gonna kick that thing in the shins when he goes.
He's gonna go soon.
Project Winless. Oh my god, the chicken. Yo,
son. I have that down as that's got 4 stars for me, and I literally put Project Winless, the chicken game, star. That game, and it's funny because I say that, and I'm sure the audience will just fall asleep while I say it. That game was like honestly top 3 for me in the showcase. I can't wait to play that game.
Opportunity for that game. They should have called it Angry Birds: The Revenge. I'm telling you.
I'm learning that it's a game based off a book called something Tears, like Drink Tears, like something. Drink Tears. I got to go back into the chat, but my chat was telling me that it's based off of.
It reminds me of Heavenly Sword, but with a chicken instead of a lady.
It reminds me of Family Guy with a chicken.
You see how much weapons that the chicken was using. There's another game too that surprised me that looked good. Crimson Moon. That junk looks amazing. I was already sold on the Control sequel game, Resonant, but I'm super sold now. I was like, what?
Yes.
I didn't know there was going that like that open world in this game.
Yep.
So that looked amazing. Beast of Reincarnation. You already know I'm already there for that. You know what I mean? That's the only reason why
it's
really like
amazing what Game Freak can do when you have more than a potato chip to work with, right?
Well, that's so Wise. Wise.
I'm still shocked from Game Freak, to be honest with you.
I'm going to say something, Wise. It's something that you just said there, and I don't think you meant in this fashion, but it was what was going through my mind while I was watching the showcase. Was I shouldn't say showcase, but State of Play. Is that now we're starting to see, now that the PS4 and Xbox One era are being, not left behind, but like not as involved. Now we're starting to see this generation's hardware starting to shine. Those games looked phenomenal. They looked absolutely phenomenal. And I'm glad somebody brought up that the chicken game. The chicken game looked great. I'm also excited for a game that we didn't discuss yet, 4Loop. I know that's early. They're saying it's pre-beta. I don't know when that pre-beta started. I was looking to see if they were going to actually put a time frame on that. I didn't see that. Is the beta now? Is it soon?
Nah, they said that it was going to be a beta or something, but that game looked rough to me, to be honest with you. It looked rough.
Little bit.
Frame rate wise and all that. But just real quick and I shut up. Soros, you already know.
Oh yeah, listen. Do we have to talk about Soros? Do we have to?
And then we got a Marvel Tokon fighting so X-Men the Unbreakable X-Men. So they're breaking things in teams in that game. And this is the Team X-Men. Wolverine got announced, looking crazy. One of my favorite characters, Magic, got announced. And this is one of the characters I wanted to be in the game, and they put it in there. And then they hit us with a surprise. This is Arc Systems 100% on how they do their fighting games and their creative like minds work. The Danger Room, they made it into a character where she learned from all the X-Men and all that stuff, from training them in the Danger Room. It's actually a sentient like character now. And it's like, yo, she looks crazy. I'm like, what? This is totally Arc Systems to make the Danger Room into like a character. It's wild. But yeah, I'm excited to see with that. The God of War, like I said, I'm playing the 2D one right now.
How is it, Jay? What's your thought?
This is not just a typical like the animation wise, how they move and all that stuff. Very top notch in this game. Like there's Metroidvanias, but they kind of shy away from those extra little animations. Like you see Kratos kind of breathing this month, like say like the way how he's stabbing. It's like extra stuff going on. Like
how much was the game, Jay?
It's $30 and the digital deluxe is $40.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a $30 game. But yeah, right away when they drop you into it, boss fighter ready, get acclimated. You know what I mean? I was a little disappointed with the God of War trilogy, to be honest with you.
Why is that?
I would have liked to see just to see like a little glimpse as far as how the remake is gonna look. You know what I mean? Like you could have showed Kratos in like one of those cut scenes and like, oh, this is coming. Like, oh wow, that looks crazy. But there was nothing of that. And they said it's early development. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, damn, we're probably not going to see this game. Obviously, it's 3 games that they're remaking. And if it's on the quality of like Demon Souls and stuff like that, then I'm like, okay, this is going to look crazy. But it was a little disappointing hearing that it's still early development and, we don't have a time frame of when we're going to get it. Or we didn't see any type of teaser on how it looks. Like, wow, oh my God, that's a big remake. Is it going to be remade like the Norse games, or is it going to keep the original, asymmetrical, 2D type, 3D?
I think it's going to be the latter. I think it's going to be the vibe you just said. It's going to be that 2D, over, not over the top, but you know what I'm saying? The traditional God of War, but just it'll look absolutely gorgeous. The light effects, things like that.
I want to say it's going to be the latter, but I feel like the fact that they telling you is early development, is going to take some time. They can't really show nothing now. Tells me that they're going to do the North style, but it's going to have those the early God of War aspects, bro. They're gonna fine tune that game. They're gonna remake it.
If that's the case,
they're gonna streamline the process, because there's no way that you announce God of War trilogy remake, and if it was like the original game, you don't even show it today.
That's
like
true. You'd have a snippet to show. You're right. But
exactly.
if what you're saying is the truth, I'll see you in 2028. That's gonna be a minute. That's gonna be a minute.
100%. 100%.
So let's go to Death Singer. Jay, I'll let you pour yourself a straight vodka or bourbon while you prepare for this. Death Singer.
Listen, at the end of the day, Singer, that's my guy.
Listen, we all love Death Singer. You kidding me?
I always respect his opinions, but we still kick his shins. So, you know what I mean?
Death Singer, what did you think of the show? Some highlights, and then of course we cannot wait to hear the grade you're going to give it, Death Singer.
All right. Well, I'll just. Pretty much everything else in there is cool, but not for me, right? So for the games I don't talk about, cool, but not for me, right? If that's your vibe, go for it. But what I will talk about is the games I actually liked from the show, because obviously that's easier than going through every single game. So now I was never a fan of the first Kena, right? But when they showed Kena 2, it's piqued my interest now. It looks like they cooked and they've got a bigger budget. And they've increased the scope. And it actually intrigues me now. So, obviously, if it's a direct sequel story-wise to the first game, then I'm going to have to go back and play the first game in order to understand the story. So that was the first one. Kena 2 was a pleasant surprise. Then we skip. Pragmata, I was already sold. Like, I'm already sold.
Did you play the demo?
Don't need to show me anymore. Yeah.
Okay.
Pragmata, that's going to be a fantastic game. Then the next one would be Beast of Reincarnation. It's amazing what game actual voice acting.
Death Singer, can I ask you a question real quick? So when does that game release?
Which
August
one?
4th.
August 4th.
Oh, it's August. Okay, never mind. I was going to say, I think we'll all still be playing Crimson Desert until then, but go ahead.
Oh, no. But the thing is, it's like dialogue and actual voice acting in a Game Freak game, wild. But here we are. So, that's going to be cool. Then we skip. Now, the next game was the Yokai Shinobi Ops game from the people that did Tenchu. And it is the closest thing.
Wait, what? They did Tenchu?
Yeah, the Yokai Shinobi Ops.
Shit, because I said it gave me Tenchu vibes, but I didn't know it was actually from the people. Damn.
Yeah, it is.
Good call, Nib.
It is the closest thing we're going to get to another Tenchu. And it looks absolutely incredible. I love the whole stealth elements and aspects of it.
Which game was this again?
The assassinations. Yoku Shinobi Ops.
It was the.
I just want to hear you try to say it again. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah, the concept of that game looks really dope, like the classic Tenchu stuff, but it looked rough.
It did look rough. That was one that I didn't think was that great.
It's got to cook a bit more, but it definitely interests me because it's the closest thing I'm going to get to a Tenchu these days, right?
Yeah, and that's the one game it said like 2027. I think everything else is like 2026.
It is. So it's got time to cook. So I cook it. Because that looks like that's going to be fucking great. Then the next one was Dynasty Warriors mixed with Cock of War, which is Project Windless.
Okay. I was wondering where you were going with that.
It took you a second, but you got it.
It took me a second to get it too. But
Listen, this is 2026. I don't judge. If you want dangly bits in your mods and stuff, it's fine.
It's like, the thing is, when I saw it, I was like, shit, this reminds me so much of God of War combat, right? But it's got the Musu Dynasty Warriors enemy kind of like mask to it.
Black Myth in there too.
Yeah, a bit of Black Myth. And then I saw someone say Cock of War in the chat, and I was like, yeah, that's good. Okay, cool. So that's a great game, and I think that's going to be pretty fire. Now, I'm a fan of the Wipeout series, so Star Wars Galactic Racers spoke to me.
Yes.
On a very fundamental level.
Absolutely.
Like, it looks so fucking good. Totally there day one. Then the next one is a brand new Castlevania.
Yes, thank you.
Finally.
Thank you. Please and thank you.
Like, it's always a good time when we get a Castlevania. And it looks fantastic. That's definitely one. Then Rev Noir. I'm always a sucker for some anime JRPG goodness.
Who's the developer for Rev Noir?
Konami.
Was that that was Konami? Thank you. Yep.
Yeah, it was.
That's right. Part of the Konami
segment.
show. Showcase part of the show. Yep.
But the thing is, it's like that looks really fucking good, and I will always play an anime RPG. It's just something I do. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad or in between. John Wick was absolute peak. I wanted a John Wick game, a proper John Wick game, and I like the way in the trailer they were, trying to. Everyone knew he was John Wick, but they weren't showing you the face. And the face looks a little bit off when he finally looks into the camera, but did they have time to sharpen that up? But
it looked more like Keanu. It looked more like Keanu Reeves than he did in Cyberpunk.
Well, yeah. I mean, sure, I could give it that, but it still looked a little off. I don't know what it was. But hey, Saber Interactive could cook with that. I'm totally there for it. And then the last one. PlayStation finally actually got me to care about a God of War game, Sons of Sparta, right? Because I'm completely not interested in all the other games. But when I saw Sons of Sparta, I was like, oh shit, that is actually, I'm into this kind of game, the whole Metroidvania type of game. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm actually interested in that. And I'm sure it'll come to PC later, of course. So I can wait for that.
Well, I'll tell you, you'll play it on your PS5 Pro later this year.
If GTA 6 is 60 FPS.
Well, it will be. You're good.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see. So overall, like, they were the games I was looking forward to, and that's the reason I graded it a 6 out of 10.
Because it was 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10. Because, they show me...
All those games you're interested in still only 6.
Yo, Nib, I try to tell him. This sounds crazy.
Well, actually, no, but Nib, they showed 29 games.
Well, that's the highest grade he ever made in school, so 60%.
That's the highest he gives for PlayStation.
No, it's not actually. But the thing is, I gave the Lost Soul Aside State of Play an 8 out of 10, I think.
He doesn't factor in like impact. Like John Wick is something that he's like, you heard his reaction. Oh, it's just a game I'm interested in. 6 out of 10. Like, yo, that sounds crazy.
Well, it's because it's a game. I don't care about the size of the game. I just want to know
what's your favorite game. What's your favorite game?
I think where me and you differ on these kind of ratings and scales is you basically said, oh, here's like 7 games that interested me out of like 29 or 30, right?
Yeah.
And then you mark it down. But I don't look at it like that because I don't think every game should be for me. Like, at the end of the day, if just because I'm not interested in a game, it doesn't mean someone else might not be interested in it. So as long as there's like a good enough volume that I'm personally really interested in, that to me is a really high quality show. I don't need every game to be made.
Well, I don't need every game to appeal for me, but it's like everything else is cool. But it's like Crimson Moon, for example, is like Doom Souls, but it has the music, but the combat, it feels a bit slow for that. Like Doom works because it's fast paced and it's visceral, gore everywhere, and you have the heavy metal soundtrack. Whereas this, it's a bit slower, and I'm like, it doesn't really have the same impact. And then it's like, Control's nice, but I'm not going to play it. Requiem, great if you enjoy that type of thing, but I'm not going to play it. So it's kind of, I have to grade it on, it doesn't matter how big the game is. It could be a small game, like...
I don't believe you. Xbox should show a new game from Obsidian coming out. You'd be like, oh, I love Obsidian. I remember you having a whole debate with Willie about that. Oh, the impact.
Well, he debated me. He said Avowed was going to be a huge hit, and I was like, nah.
It's because Avowed appealed to me, and the Outer Worlds 2 appealed to me, and the Outer Worlds appealed to me, and all their previous games appealed to me. They make games I actually like, so of course I have to give them a point for that. If you make a game that's cool, but I'm not going to play it, okay, cool. But that doesn't matter to me. That
Aren't you interested in like JRPG and strat type games? So I thought you would have been more interested in like what was it called? Yeah, was it Crimson Moon and Rev Noir and stuff? Like
Crimson Moon is a Doom Souls type thing. Rev Noir.
Sorry, Brigandine Abyss. That's the one, Brigandine Abyss.
See, Brigandine Abyss, but I've never been a fan. I've played the last one. It came out in 2022. I can't remember the name of it. I played that one and I wasn't a huge fan. It reminded me kind of like a mix between Fire Emblem Three Houses and what's the other game? Maybe a bit of Grand Blue Fantasy. It was kind of like a cross between the two. And it really didn't hit. So I see this game and I'm like, well, I didn't enjoy your last offering. So I'm going to have to wait and see on this offering to see if it does anything better. Because it's kind of, it tries to do Fire Emblem Three Houses and Triangle Strategy. But it doesn't do it as well as those two games. So, I mean...
Hey, Mooch.
Yes.
What did you think about the art direction on that Castlevania game?
So what I really paid close attention to with that crap was the mechanics, right? And what I wanted to see is that jump, the parrying, the same mechanics that we had in the Belmont games back in the day. And I think they kept true to it. As far as the art design, I liked it. I did. I didn't have any problem with it.
It's super interesting. I'm watching it right now. It's like, that's very interesting.
But I was I was more interested in finding out whether or not it was going to stay true to the classic Castlevania. You know, the jump and whip, right? And throwing the cross, and they showed that, right? And they showed a few things. Like, that was the stuff I was really looking forward to, because some of these iterations of Castlevania, which no doubt that some of the Castlevania fans liked, it stepped a little bit away from that traditional Castlevania, and it didn't interest me as much. This one here has my full attention.
Is this Igarashi doing anything with it, or what?
What's that?
Is Igarashi doing anything with this? You know, the guy who did the whole Symphony of the Night, the whole Castlevania sequence after Symphony of the Night. Is he still doing it, or has he left the company altogether?
I would have. Listen, Wise, I don't know the answer to that, though. I would say if that individual was still there, I'm pretty sure he would have done a cameo, or his name would have been mentioned. But I mean, just that seems to be how they pay credit to. You know, when they'll say working with the original creator or the Symphony of the Night or this, you know, and they'll put that in text underneath, even if he's not there. I didn't see that, so I would say probably not. It
was the same guy who made Bloodstains, and so I was just hoping that maybe they
that's the one thing, and that's why I was watching that, because Bloodstains, don't get me wrong, was a fantastic game. I didn't play a lot of it. when it's a lot of the back and forth, I want it to kind of just be progressively, like, I want to say linear in that sense where you continue to go forward. This is the way that Castlevania was, not where you go back and forth a million times. I hope that this game doesn't do that, but it might. I don't know. We didn't really see a lot of it. They just showed screenshot, fight action, screenshot, fight action. So I didn't see a map like an Ori map where you got to go all the way back to the beginning and go do this and then go all the way back to the other side and do that again. Those I'm hoping it steers away from that. And it's just a continual progression to the right of the screen, because it is following that 2D scheme. I don't know. That's my take. You guys can tell me if I was right or wrong on that. What do you guys think? Is that a false hope? Anybody?
It looked good. That's all I can say.
What do you think, though, Barney? Is it going to be more like Bloodlines, or do you think it's going to be more of that traditional, the way that, like, the first 3 Castlevanias were?
It looks more like Bloodlines to me.
I have to look at the trailer again. But like I said, from what I've seen, it looked pretty dope. I like the animations. It doesn't look too pixelated. You know what I mean? Like, you can have that art style or that pixelation and all that stuff, but don't do it so crazy like the Mina game. The game from the people that make
Mina the Howler.
Yeah, that's too much pixelation. But this one, it looks really cool, and it looks like really like a refined, brand new, Castlevania game. So yeah, I'm with it. Cool. I gotta watch it again to see if it's like, the last one, which called Ritual,
Bloodlines.
Yeah, Bloodlines or whatever.
Yeah. Shout out to Crow. He says it looks better than Bloodlines. That's the way I took it too, Crow. I mean, that's the way I was reading it. I don't know. That's one of those. We'll have to. I have to go back and take a look at it as well. So we talked about God of War trilogy. Saros, we kind of talked about it. We all said Saros for me is kind of a special thing. I mean, like I said, you guys know I talked about it enough on the show. I mean, I got the platinum in Returnal. I even went back after I had the platinum, went back and played it again and again. Like I love that. That game doesn't really that replay loop in that game is just special. And now they have the ability to jump immediately into where you left off. Let me ask a question to any of you guys that played a lot of Returnal. Do you feel that that's making the game, I dare not say the word easier, but is it a little bit easier? Because in Returnal, you had to get through certain areas to get back to certain biomes. Here, it looks like you can, when you get there, you can just warp to it. That may mean that the game is bigger, so that's why they have the warping ability there. Do you guys think that makes the game a bit easier, or no?
That was, it's going to make it easier, but that's a adjustment or a feature they add in the game because of the reaction of something like Returnal. Like, a lot of people don't really play what you call it, what's the genre,
the genre of Returnal,
roguelikes,
yeah.
And that's part of the genre where you're going to start over. Like, certain games like Hades, they did a great job with, like, you get to keep certain abilities or keep little power-ups, or there's permanent stuff that you had there. Returnal, Returnal was hardcore. It's like, nah, you starting over. You know what I mean? But that's just a response to the feedback of Returnal. And it doesn't sound like it's going to make it easier in certain aspects as far as just like progression wise. But there's a lot of things that I'm seeing that they add as far as you can fine tune your gameplay. Like, even though you can make certain things easier, there's a balancing effect that, okay, this boss or this enemy might be easier, but something might be in a world that's going to, you probably have more, hazardous materials or stuff that are going to affect you in the world. You know what I mean? I don't know, but they say something like the balancing of the game is you can fine tune it, but it's pretty balanced.
I'm glad you brought up Hades, because I feel like this is actually taking design inspiration from Hades and obviously other roguelikes, where you're exactly right. Like, I actually watched some Let's Play streams of, some of the people who gave Returnal a much lower score than other people. And 99 times out of 10, it was because it was too hard for them. I know people don't like you saying that, like, get good, but that really was it. Like, I remember I watched Jeff Grubb and playing this game for like half an hour, and I was just like, almost I want to bang my head on a table. You could tell they just didn't really understand the mechanics or what to look for, what, with the healing system and everything. But yeah, I have a feeling what they'll do is the actual game, there'll be more and more take with you each run to kind of give you that progression and reward, even if you are not doing too well. And then with the modifiers, you can change so many different modifiers, like the health pool, this and that, enemy spawns, all the rest of it. Again, it's very similar to Hades. I think most of the challenge will be in the end game and post game stuff, so the hardcore people can, like you do in Hades.
So you can have everybody can have their cake and eat it too, Nib, is what you're saying. And the thing is, I think when people say the words "get good," I can see why some people would take some offense to it. I get that, but at the same time, I think instead of saying "get good" in the community, what we should say is practice, like play the game,
learn the game.
A lot of
people, don't. I never cared for. Yeah, when the game first came out, when the console launched, it was fine. I didn't really get much into it. I was like, okay, it's a great game, and you guys were raving about it, and I was like, okay, cool, whatever. I was busy playing Demon's Souls and Miles Morales and all of that, and I was like, okay, I'll get to it whenever I want to get to it. But I was like, I played a little bit of it, and it was just not anything that was like really engaging to me at the time because I was never into roguelikes to begin with. And one of my podcast members, Lord Metroid, he sort of like was talking about it. I'm like, what is the big deal about this freaking game? And then I started playing it, and he started showing me things and stuff. And then like I started warming up to it, and now I really love the game, and I can't wait for Soros myself. So yeah.
Yeah, and like I say, and it's funny because on screen you'll see here I'm not as far as Nib, but like I've got about 10 hours now, 11 hours into, and that's because I have a problem. You guys know this. I literally am. This is an open world for Nioh, open world game, not open world like Elden Ring, but open world for Nioh. And there's so many things to do and explore in the map and different areas to go to. It's not that linear Nioh like you used to in 1 and 2. And like for me personally, a lot of people go, well, I'm not playing Nioh. That's, it's too difficult. I've had a lot of people say that, when we were talking about it online or in the community. And the thing about it is a lot of these games, you play them and they say get good, but it's just practice. Bari just said it, learn the game. And, I think that's part of the best part of gaming. And the thing is, and I'll say this one thing real quick, because you have like Death Singer and a lot of people that like to play turn-based games and this and that. Like a lot of those games, I sometimes could see like those can sometimes be a little bit long in the tooth. You know what I mean? And those
trust me, they are a different kind of difficulty.
Have any of y'all fought Omega or Ruby Weapon? That's all I want to know. Death Singer, tell them about Omega and Ruby Weapon. Come on.
But even Omega and Ruby Weapon, you can cheese. Like it's really easy actually.
It is.
Have the right materials.
You got a lot of tools to you that you can cheese.
Exactly. Yeah.
A lot of the strategy games are a lot of get good. But that's because it is so tactical. It depends what you're talking about. It's like if you play like an XCOM or like a Wasteland 3, for example, is like incredibly punishing. Like you will just walk into a room, there'll be a boss and he'll one-shot your entire squad, and it's a wrap. And then you're like, okay, well, he does this, he does this, he does this. And it's a lot of, you have to learn the patterns. And that's why I enjoy Nioh. And I'm going to play Nioh 3, but it's in the backlog at the moment because I'm playing Mugenics. But Mooch, to your point, like a lot of RTS and 4X games, they look slow, and everything looks, and tactical RPGs, they look slow, but there is a shit ton you have to think about.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, am I going to stand in this AoE? How much movement do I have? And especially if they go, you've got 10 turns to finish this fight. You've got 10 turns. After 10, it's done whether you do it or not. So you're like, fuck. Every single move has to do something and has to contribute.
Yep.
So it's a lot of thinking and it's a lot of get good. And unfortunately, it is what it is. Some people just don't have the mental capacity to think strategy and to think like 5 steps ahead about what you're going to do, combos and whatnot.
Yeah. And I will say, and obviously, like, I'm not saying I haven't been guilty of this. Sometimes when like you just want to get to the good stuff, you don't like read in detail the tutorials and the messages properly. And you sometimes, if you skip over like a single instruction, it can really put you back like a lot.
Yeah.
Even in Nioh 3, actually, like there's so many systems and so many different things. Like actually, if you don't pay attention to the tutorial or one of the things it's saying, and you just kind of like mindlessly do what it's telling you, without taking it in and absorbing it, again, it can put you out. And I think Returnal was a bit like that, again, because of the way you choose stuff and the healing system. Obviously, like, leave a room, but you may need to, it's sometimes better to just leave healing green orbs or whatever, so you can go back to them, etc., etc. But yeah, I can see some people just like were not doing that based on some of the streams and stuff. But, maybe that's on the developer as well. They need to find more interesting ways to inform.
Nah, they dumb, Nib. They dumb because these are the same people that would easily pick up a Souls game or Elden Ring and rate it, 10 out of 10 because of the difficulty and the discoverability and figuring things out. And
that's
all
what I noticed too.
So you put a game
sometimes you're not even in the mood.
That stuff is kind of a lie, because what I find is like most people who play those games, they're watching fucking like build videos and guides and all this other shit. That. So so it's not an organic. And obviously something like this, it's not as popular. It doesn't have friggin' 10 billion different build videos and all this coverage and streamers playing it and everything like that. So you literally have to use your own sentiment and mind and learning and everything. So I do think Demon, like those kind of games, those Soulsborne games, are a very different type of thing.
But there's just so many games outside. So, like, for example, with my whole situation with Returnal, I was just not in that headspace at that time that I wanted to play such a game. It's like sometimes you want to play a certain game at a certain
fair,
time
Wise.
in your life.
Wise, that's 100% right. You have to be kind of in the mood 100%. For it. And I mean, like Nioh, I think is one of those games. I know a lot of people say, well, like Deathsinger, he's got other games he's playing right now, so he's putting in a backlog. But I know some people say, I'm going to get to Nioh when I get to Nioh, but just not right now. And that's fine. Like, I understand that. I get that.
But you see, the problem is there's so much shit coming out that, like, you put it on the back burner, I'm going to get to it. And then when it's time for you to get to it, there's something, there's something more shiny and newer.
Not necessarily. It like, sometimes there's, like, it depends how quick you go through a game. And then it's like, bear in mind, I don't play as many games, but I play longer games because they're all basically RPGs, right? But something like a Silk Song, for example, was a nice quick jaunt. It was quick, done, in, out, done. Hades was the same thing. In, out, done. Then if there's nothing coming out, I could go, oh, let me play this from my backlog, for example. And there is a lot of downtime between games I like or I want to play. So I have plenty of opportunities to sneak in. So like I could probably sneak in Nioh 3 at like the end of the year because there's not much that's going to be releasing, I don't think.
Well,
I did want to say something on that subject. I feel like we're in a kind of weird situation where, because every studio is trying to like hopelessly avoid GTA 6, right? They've all kind of fucking squashed everything.
Yep.
In the first half of the year. And it's a weird thing where instead of the end of the year is stacked as well, but everything's like March, April, May, like every fucking game. And I'm like, holy shit, especially these days with the length that games are, like even Nioh 3, how long are we going to be playing this shit? You know how many hours I have in fucking Kingdom Come Deliverance 2? Like, these games are massive games now. Even Death Stranding 2, that took me like over 70 hours, I think. Like, so
I just finished and platinum up Octopath Traveler 0.
Oh
180
shit!
some hours, and I'm still playing it because I'm trying to create like a strategy for like the final super boss to like put like a video. So I'm testing out some stuff. But yeah, like that game is a long game, but it's great. It's a great game, man. Great game. And now I'm playing the Trails in the Sky. And then I got Dragon Quest I got to play as well.
I got to know, how long did the super boss take you for the original Octopath? How long was that battle of yours?
Oh, for Galdera in 1? I feel like in the original one, Galdera was the hardest in the original.
How long did it take you? How long was that freaking battle? It took my actual battle took me 30 freaking minutes of real world time to play that, to beat that bitch.
Yeah, like I beat Galdera like pretty fast. Like in all the games I in 1 and 2 I beat Galdera fast, but in part 1 it took me the longest to actually beat it. It took me a very long time. Like part 2 it took me like a good week to come up with like a good strategy.
You guys talking Final Fantasy?
Octopath.
Oh, Octopath. I'm sorry.
I'll say Octopath. I'll say in 0 the super boss is easier than Galdera though. It's much easier than Galdera.
Okay, is he harder or easier than the 1 and 2?
Easier than 1 and 2. Easier than
1 and 2, right? Okay, cool.
I see Wise taking notes on this. Shout out to Bespoke. He says
playing my time.
Starting a Death Singer PS5 Pro Fund. Let's go. Bespoke, thank you so much for the super chat. Then I saw a Satanist. He goes, no, he'll just take that money and he'll just turn it into V-Bucks. So shout out.
No, yeah, of course. I mean, the skins aren't going to buy themselves, and they got some great collaborations coming up.
Don't tempt.
Death Singer went from PlayStation got to show me games to I just wait for the games to come on PC.
That's right.
It don't matter if PlayStation showing
games. To be fair, there was only one game, and that was Sons of Sparta. Everything else is coming to PC anyway. So, I mean, It doesn't matter.
The
Talk
way
about your original statement.
But yeah, Mooch,
or when it comes
did
to-
you?
Oh,
Mooch, did you give your thoughts on the show yet?
So I was kind of just running parallel with a lot of the games. So I'll just say this. So there was a couple that we didn't mention that I'm excited about. I missed Ghost of Tsushima Legends. When I got into playing that, everybody had already finished. Shout out to T-Rock. I don't know if T-Rock's listening to the show right now.
Great.
It is fantastic. So Ghost of Yotai Legends, I will
Listen,
be there
let me
on
tell you
March
something about
10th,
Legends,
day
Mooch.
one.
My bad.
No, go ahead.
Let me tell you something.
I'll be
about
there day
Legends.
one.
Legends is a mode, especially if they add the raid. Because I don't know if they said it was adding a raid. That will make or break your friendship. Okay, so make sure you have a good bond with the people that you play with.
Yeah, true.
In the gaming community, because listen, that thing ain't easy, bro. It takes a lot of teamwork, and if there's people that you play with that's on the West Coast and the East Coast, and that timelines ain't syncing. oh man!
Well, the minute I saw that, I reached out. Shout out to Blaze 4K and Lazy Vibes. I've been doing a lot of streaming with those guys, doing Ark and stuff. We got a good momentum. We got a good rhythm going. We'll see if it holds true with Legends, though, Jay. I appreciate that, and I'm going to bring you up on the next stream. I'm gonna be like, Jay was very critical that your teammates are a necessity to be in sync with.
Yeah, because one mistake can restart the run or the phase of the raid. You know what I mean? And it's a lot of teamwork. There's times where in the first Legends, there's times where people actually had to hold their own. Like I fought with people in this community. I'm not going to say the names, but there was the ending sequence in Legends where you had to fight the boss like 4 or 5 times. Yo, that was my job, because I was like, listen, I'm not starting this phase over.
That's my job.
I was like, you know what? I'm going to Assassin, Stone Stance, and I'm finishing this raid today.
Right now.
But if you, on my video, on my YouTube channel, probably like 20 hours of the raid I have on there. The longest stream ever that I have on YouTube is Ghost of Tsushima Legends. It's like 12, 13 hours.
To be fair, I feel for Barry, because it's like Destiny 2 raids, for example. It's like in the Vault of Glass, for example, like each on the Templar, you had to, each person singularly had to just stand on the 2 plates, and then the other people were sniping the oracles, and you had to sit there and solo your plate, right? And I'm on the left side. I'm like, yo, this is easy, it's cool, whatever. And then the person on the right plate just keeps dying, and it's like, my guy, you're gonna cost us the entire thing. And then eventually you get to the point where you're like, you know what? Let's just kick him and get someone else.
Ultras is on PS Plus. I didn't even realize that.
What is?
That's another game. Ultras. I wanted to play that.
Ultras, yes. Very good game.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll go through really quickly my thoughts. Basically, all I'm going to do is still quite a few games, but I'll try and be rapid fire. Every game I gave an 8 out of 10 or higher on the hype meter. Keep in mind, obviously, I haven't played these games, so it's a little bit liberal. It's just based purely on what I've seen. So, Kina Scars of Cosmora, like, I really enjoyed the first one, 8.5 I gave it, and this looks like a huge glow up. Like Death Singer said, way more scope, way broader visual fidelities. Amped up, just looks beautiful. It almost looks like a friggin', like a visual movie or something. Ghost of Yotai Legends, 9 out of 10. Like, can't wait for that. I'm super
very
hyped.
excited.
Pragmata looks very cool. Requiem.
Nib, can I ask you a question? Nib, can I ask you a question? Can you give me, because you do a lot of research.
Yeah.
Could you please tell me, because I haven't played the demo yet and it's out, so shame on me, but I also want to play. I also want to play Replace the demo. But can you please tell me what Pragmata is about?
No, so I don't know. I couldn't give you I know some of the systems and stuff, but I couldn't give you an in-depth detail.
That's my only issue with Pragmata right now is the astronaut is almost like the big daddy. We've got the little sister on the shoulder. I'm getting that vibe.
Like an android.
Yeah, I'm getting.
But I think that's what intrigues me about it, though, because the whole point is that it's like you're unraveling the story, the tale, the mystery. And I sometimes, like, I do this where sometimes I won't read a single review or nothing about a game, especially if it's got that kind of vibe and story. Like, even Control Resonant, right? Control games tend to have a lot of, like, serious and quirky aspects to them or whatever. So I try not to look into them too much. I won't even watch a review. Obviously the spectacle of all the motion changing and all of this and the story and the horror. Again, I don't want to be spoiled. So yeah, I can't answer that, but I get what you're coming from. But yeah, Control Resonant, straight 9. Like, I can't wait to play that. Beast of Incarnation, yeah, they've been let loose away from the potato, like someone else was saying. Never prologue. That was actually one of my 9 out of 10s. I just think it looks so calming and beautiful and majestic. And
it almost gave me, was that like it gave me Journey vibes?
Yes, like Journey vibes, but it's going to sound weird, but from a design perspective, their use of negative space and framing and everything like that is just, I can tell like there's some real artists who are making this game. I don't know how it will play, but to me it looks beautiful. Yako, Shinobi Ops, like Death Singer said, closest thing to Tenchu we're going to get, so I'll take it. Project Windless gave me like modern, what's it called? Game on PS3. Heavy something, I don't know. The one with the girl where you're fighting thousands of people, like at the end when you turn into her heavenly sword. That's it. Heavenly sword.
I was scared when I saw all of those enemies, and I just saw before we really, because they showed a good amount of that game. Nib. The one thing that I'll say that I thought it was one of those, and I'm going to say the word wrong, so I apologize. Guys. The Gundam
game, right?
You know those Gundam games where it's like you're just like swirling your sword around thousands of enemies. I thought that
talking about a Muso type game.
It's just Dynasty Warriors. Like,
Dynasty Warriors, yes.
No, I don't think that game is a Dynasty Warrior.
I don't think it's going to be
a sequence.
Right. The more I saw the game, I don't think it's like Dynasty Warriors at all. I said it the very first minute. I was not even like 15 seconds. That's what I thought. And that's not at all what it really is. He said, Willie Gamer saying Heavenly Sword.
Yeah, Heavenly Sword. Yeah, sorry, dude, I cut out. I think maybe my controller battery is low. That's one stupid thing about the bloody DualSense Edge. But yeah, 007 First Light, I can't wait. Like,
you talking from the DualSense?
This is the DualSense he's talking through, guys, right on his place.
Not right this second. I was, for the rest of the show, I was on my DualSense Edge. I've just put it back on charge. But yeah, now I'm speaking from my phone. But yeah, 007 First Light, like, the reason I miss Uncharted is because
you are a fanboy.
Yeah.
Yo, Jay, you had to throw that out there, didn't you?
I love these like globe-trotting adventures, and that's why I'm intrigued in Tomb Raider as well. I love going around the world. It's like a mini holiday, right? Going to these weird and wonderful places and lavish, casinos and all the rest of it. But yeah, and then Silent Hill Townfall. I like the fact that it's gone to first person. I like that it's got the Outlast style. Can only see the enemies through these weird digitizers or whatever. And I actually think art direction wise, again, I'd have to look in more detail, but I prefer art direction, the way they've implemented the fog with the volumetric lighting and stuff in this game than every other Silent Hill and remake and everything before it. I think even though it's a fairly new studio who's making it, I think they've done a bang up job and I can't wait. John Wick gave me Sifu vibes, but like amped up John Wick style.
Oh, interesting.
Look great, yeah. And then Saros 9.5. Like I think it could be possibly my game of the year. Just looks incredible. Tokon Fighting Souls. It's not my go-to genre, but as far as like what you want from that genre, it's like hitting all the right notes. Like beautiful art direction, amazing animations, flow, and move sets and everything. And then the God of War remake, I'm a bit annoyed they didn't show anything, but come on, this God of War remake. Yeah, and so those were my most hype games. And with all that, I mean, I probably listed, 15 games?
Yeah.
I couldn't not give it like a 9. The only negatives for me were, 1, they did show a lot of stuff we already knew about, but that's fine. And 2, I kind of would have even though it was cool that they did a shadow drop, I wanted a bigger game that they revealed at the end, and because I know Cory Barlog is still making.
That's what I was just going to say.
When I saw that Santa Monica, that's what I thought too. Show. Yeah, so it was a bit like, this, like not.
They are really keeping that Cory Barlog game under wraps.
They haven't showed nothing of that either.
Well, I mean, Intergalactic.
That's why the God of War trilogy would to me it's like salt on the wound a little bit, because it's like we wait. God of War did come out 2021, so it's been a while.
22.
But the fact that you announced the trilogy and it's going to take a while. It's in early development, but I felt like they should have went with a little bit more talk. Like you had TC there, great, but Santa Monica Studio themselves should have been, hey, we're in development with other things, you know, let people know like what's going on. But
I think that's why
nobody really thought that those games were going to be there, right? Nobody really came into this thing thinking that they're going to see a new God of War or anything about intergalactic or whatever, right? Come on, like it's a state of play after all, like. You know.
No, they announce a lot of these games at State of Play. Saros was announced at State of Play. Tokon was announced at State of Play. Astrobot was announced at State of Play. So yeah,
but they don't carry the weight that a Last of Us does. Tokon, Saros, you know, they don't carry the weight of God of War or Last of Us. So that's what I'm saying. That's their big IP, tentpole IP, and I've never seen them announce a new tentpole IP from one of their anchor stables on a State of Play. That it was usually a showcase type situation. So
yeah, but I think this is not necessarily. It's kind of like a spin-off, so it's not the major title. I think that probably is going to be God of War 3. I think this is still like a side project. It's a spin-off of some kind. But yeah, either way, like it doesn't matter. Still, it was an amazing show, and it was such a no time wasting, amazing cadence of games. So yeah, 9 out of 10 for me.
Outstanding.
Hey, Mooch.
Go ahead, Crab. I was going to go to you next.
They gave some update on the John Wick game. It's a single player AAA third person action.
Great.
Designed for mature audiences. It's an original story set years before the impossible task from the films. It says it dives deeper into the John Wick universe, exploring the world of the High Table. Features both returning fan favorite characters and brand new ones that were created for the game. Developed in collaboration with Lionsgate and Keanu Reeves. And Keanu Reeves is reprising the character with likeness, voice, and performance.
Wow.
So yeah, he's doing the all that stuff. It's got new high stakes mechanics that make players feel like they're in the movie. Adrenaline fueled gung fu. Fighting style includes intense high-stakes vehicle sequences, jaw-dropping camera work, and cinematic storytelling that feels straight out of the movies. Delivers a hard-hitting, fluid gung-fu mechanics with precise cinematic choreography. Neo-noir environments designed to make players feel like they're living a John Wick film. Developed by Saber Interactive, who did Space Marine 2 and Warhammer 40K. Coming to Xbox, PlayStation 5, and PC.
Yeah, thanks for that update, Crap. I'll tell you right now, a lot of people are saying the same thing. Like Brian East is saying the same thing that Nib was saying. Sifu, I think it's going to be tiers and levels above Sifu. Personally, I mean, I think you guys use that as a reference, but I think it'll be levels above that. I'm going to go real quick here. I'm not going to go through it, and then Crap, I want to get your score. I'm just going to go through really, really quick here. So I really liked. I know, and Jay Barry made a point. Was it rough around the edges? Yes, but unlike a lot of people, I do look forward to new multiplayer games as well, and to be able to have a 4-player co-op. I am looking forward to more of 4-loop. RE9, of course, is going to be fantastic. 2 weeks away from that. That's just blows my mind. Control, you guys already know. I played Control Platinum. Loved the hell out of it, especially when it got to its PS5 upgrade. I got a few here that I just want to kind of point out that I know. Project Windless, which shout out to, I'll let that's here. You can read Dante 61680. You seem to like the reference there that he put up there. You can read that super chat if you want. The Metal Gear Solid 4 V2 Metal Gear Liquid Peace Walker, the whole thing. I'm so excited for that. I have never played those, so those are something I'm looking forward to getting into. Galactic Racer Star Wars, their day one, no questions. No one mentioned it. No one's mentioned this. I'm excited for it. I think it's got it's fun for like more of a family playthrough. I understand it's not really great for the CrossFire pocket, but Darwin's Paradox I think has a lot of potential, a lot of fun. That's the octopus game there. It's kind of got like almost like little nightmare vibes with some other stuff, but a little bit of a lighter tone. Castlevania, hello there, day one. Silent Hill Townfall, I'm there, day zero. John Wick, of course. No one talked about this. I guess I'll be the one to talk about it. There's people playing it right now. I'm hearing good things. People are writing in the DM saying I'm hearing good things. Marathon. I will be there for Marathon. I have about 100. You guys know about 170 hours now of Arc Raiders time put in. At least 170 hours. I'm gonna be there for Marathon day
Not
one.
Gonna lie, I'm like Marathon. My interest has grown for the game.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that they're going to have a server slam is great because that's going to determine if I buy it or not. But I would say it's looking much, much better than from what I saw when Persona was streaming.
Yes.
Or just regular gameplay from other people. I'm like, yo, this is looking actually good. I don't know if they was teasing a little story mode in that little
I saw that,
was shown too.
I got to say, I went from like
I said when I first saw Marathon that I actually disliked the art direction.
Mhm.
I was like, it's trying too hard. Now when I see it, I just think this game's got aura. I'm going to use that meme word. It's just like there's something so cool, and I don't know what they've done with the engine. The lighting looks dramatically better. The textures, the material shader work is way better. Now it actually speaks to the kind of look and the mood and the oppressive, like with the cyber stuff and everything. Like, yeah, they're really cooking with it. And I think, like, in terms of depth of systems, even reading some of the previews,
Yes.
I read some of the previews on it. Like, everyone's talking about how like involved it is, and in terms of story and lore and everything like that. There's a lot in this. There's a ton of content. So yeah, it could actually be. It didn't quite make my 8, but it's gone from like a 4 and a 5 hype rating to like 7.5 now, which is
That's pretty good. And I'll tell you something, the art direction, the color scheme is fire, man. I don't give a shit. You know, I'm so close to buying that that I'm going to call it metallic green. I don't know what the hell to call it, but that neon metallic green controller. That's not a dual. It's not a dual DualSense Edge. It's a regular PS5 controller. But and it's not even related. Has nothing to do with Marathon. Marathon's got its own controller. I don't like the one they made for Marathon. I'm buying the green one because the color scheme is so hot and it looks just like it belongs with Marathon. I love everything they're doing with the art direction. I like that whole thing. I think there's so much more story and lore that Bungie can do, and Bungie has that pedigree. You know, I was saying this to a few people out there in the community on X the other day. I said, listen, Bungie, okay, they've had some really bad press. They've had bad press. They had that art scandal thing, bad press. But at the end of the day, you're talking about the resume. The resume is as follow, folks. Halo, Destiny, Marathon. Hard to sit there and say, I'm not going to give these people a chance. It is very hard to say that if you enjoyed one or both of the two before that. I mean,
well, let me say
unbelievable.
Let me say this. I mean, all of you guys, and Mooch, I've got to run. My son's dinner is about in a few minutes, so I got to run after this.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I am not interested in multiplayer games as much as you guys are, and I got to say, when I first saw Marathon, had no interest whatsoever, one iota. But like the more I see it, like it has quickly shot up to being one of my most anticipated games of the upcoming next few months. So like I'm looking forward to it. I can't even give any more bigger of a compliment that when you can make somebody somebody interested in your genre who was never interested in it to begin with, you're doing something right. So yeah, I'm definitely going to give it a spin.
Yeah. So both of us have been turned around heavily then on the game.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And I've already pre-ordered the controller myself, so yeah.
Not me though. I ain't got time for no marathon.
You don't look like you run any marathons at all. The only thing that looks like you run to is the kitchen, but there you go.
Well, hey,
Yeah. Shots fired. Shots fired.
Bing. I'm here nightly. Try the fish. I'll see you.
That was good, but no, I ain't got because I already got like Fortnite, World of Tanks.
He's like, no, that was good. That was good, man.
Not World of Tanks. Not World of Tanks, that singer. Not like that. Come on. I mean, listen. Here's my thing. Now, Jay Barr, I got to ask Jay a quick question.
I also can't say the normal stuff I would say because we're on air.
That's well, yeah, that singer I completely understand.
Fire back like I normally fire back.
Believe me, I know what you mean. So wait,
someone put in the comments, chef singer.
Don't give Glintzer any opportunities. He'll take advantage of it. Jay, you said you pre-ordered the Marathon controller.
Oh no, not the Marathon one. I don't think I pre-ordered that one.
Which one did you get?
I pre-ordered the three colors.
Oh, okay. You got the blue, the red, and the green?
Yeah.
Fire. Okay, I was gonna get the green. I thought the green looked real good.
I ain't gonna use them, but
you're keeping them for like.
Yeah, we gonna work with a new setup one day.
Okay.
I did want to touch on
what you're doing,
right?
The Marathon Collector's Edition looked good though. Not gonna lie.
The Collector's Edition looks fire. Absolutely. I didn't order that, but is that still available, Jay?
Not the one with the game. I think it's the one without the game now.
Yeah, the one without the game. The one with the statuette. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Someone in the comments wrote, "Marathon looks generic," and I'm not like that's a fine. If you want your opinion, fine, right? But actually, one of the things that's making me more interested about it is the fact that it does not look generic. It actually looks very, very distinct in terms of, I forgot what the art style is called. Like, it's the Wipeout kind of, the whatever, I think they're called Designers Republic in 1981. They're the ones who coined that style that other firms and everything started using as well. But we haven't really had a multiplayer live service AAA game of a really high production and value use that kind of style in quite a while. So I would actually say, yeah, with in terms of the design of all the world, the colors, the art, the graphics, the art design, I would say it is unique, actually, especially with the lore and everything like that. So
that's the one thing that you said that a lot of people really don't bring up when they're discussing the game, and that's fine. I think it's because we talk about it a little bit more in the podcasting world of like financials and that you have Bungie, which is an unbelievably talented studio, and then you have the money of Sony behind it. As long as the game's mechanics feel good, and shout out to Crow, he said, I guess, I don't know how he got dibs on this. I guess I do know how. He's got an unbelievably large following, but I guess the Burnt Peanut right now is playing it, and he said it's polished and it gives him Apex Legend vibes. He said, that's a compliment. I mean, I don't know if anybody watches, but Apex Legends throughout the thick and thin of everything is always still a massive viewing audience on Twitch and has a huge audience still playing the game. So if the game is done right, and then you take the art style and you look at the money that's going to be thrown at this nib, I think that it doesn't have to be. I said this the other day on X. It doesn't. Everyone's going, well, it's not going to compete with Arc Raiders. Listen, you don't have to compete with Arc Raiders. Burger King still, to this day, never beats McDonald's year in and year out. But they're still there. They're still there, and they're still making a lot of money. So I think that there's still there's space in the extraction shooter for more than one besides Arc Raiders.
And by the way, just so I don't want to sound ignorant, but I got my tweet up. So it's known as, the art direction is called Vector Heart and Acid Design, and it was popularized by Designers Republic and Bionic Systems in the early 90s and late 80s.
See, I already like it from that. There is plenty
of room in the extraction shooter genre because it's one of the least tapped of the genre.
Exactly. That's it.
Because you have Arc Raiders, which is doing its thing. Then you have Marathon, which will probably get a good following. And then it's like, if you want the hardcore, you have Tarkov. So if you think both of these are weak sauce and you like a bit of punishment, play a bit of Tarkov.
True. Very true.
You have all the options available to you depending on what you like. So,
you know what scared me about Marathon?
What do you got?
The fact that we haven't seen how that dog shit menu look in a long time. Yo, that menu system, the inventory, it looks like Minecraft, bro. They need to change that up. That junk look PC centric, drag and drop type mouse and keyboard BS. You know what I mean? And I haven't seen how the menus look since the beta. They show you the graphic updates and everything, how the world and the characters and all that. But I don't know how that menu, that inventory look. Cause that junk look cheap and it looks boring.
Well, I mean, it looks kind of like the Destiny 2.
I didn't think it looked cheap, but I thought it looked cumbersome. It looked very, very. But then again, I'll be honest with you, and Jay, I don't know how much Arc Raiders you're playing recently, or you did play. The first few hours you play Arc Raiders, people, sitting there and they got to get used to the system and the stash and everything else, and then it just becomes very, very simple. I think after 5 hours or so playing Marathon, same thing with Arc Raiders, that inventory stash system becomes, I will say, easier and easier. We'll find out. I don't know at Marathon. I do know what you mean. It looks cumbersome. I didn't think it looked dated or bad. I just thought it looked, a little over. I don't know what the word.
It looked like Minecraft to me. It looked cheap.
A little bit of cheap. Yeah, they're doing a boxy scheme here, and I don't know if that really coincides with what Nib's saying with the art direction. I don't know if that coincides with that same late 1980s type of vibe. But yeah, there is a boxy thing they got going on. Like even the scopes are all boxy. People don't like that. But I think it's, listen, we sit there and we say, don't be generic. Don't be the same. Well, there's only so many ways you could change a scope or reticle. You know what I mean? It's like, so they're doing something. Who knows? And if it doesn't work and they get feedback and the game still does well, they'll change it or give options for you to change that. And they can change the UI as well, Jay. They can make things less cumbersome and maybe look a little bit more,
That's what I'm saying. Like, me personally, I haven't seen it in a long time. But
same.
Like I said, I think Marathon. It was a game that I was not interested in. I promise you, I was not interested at all in the game. But when they did that graphic update and the new trailer that they showed, I'm like, oh, it's catching my eye. And now I'm going to be able to actually play this Server Slam, not the BS. Oh, join a Discord.
Yeah, not this weekend. Next weekend.
You can.
Right?
Yeah, next weekend. Yeah, next weekend. Next week. I think it is.
Well, it's the 26th.
No,
it's the end of the month.
My bad. Yeah.
So it's
so a week before the game comes out.
It leads right up.
I'll make my decision. I'll make my decision there.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people will. That's so. Let me tell you something. You have to have some brass, you know whats, to actually put that out. Because I'll be honest with you, if that server, whatever they want to call it, server smash thing ends up going bad, yeah, the game is. I hate to say it, it's not going to be good for the game. It's really not going to be good.
But then again, it's like you have a tale of two tapes, right? If you're confident in your game, like Marvel Rivals and Concord did their open betas back to back, right next to each other.
Yeah.
And we saw the tale of two tapes.
Yes.
So it's like, it's a risk, but if you're confident in your game, I mean, people are going to vibe with it.
That's right.
I think people probably vibe with it. The only reason I won't play it is because I just don't physically have the time in the day to play it because of other
it is
games
good.
and such.
I will say that, like, I've had a
Dessinger, what are you playing at the moment, by the way?
In my multiplayer rotation, I have World of Tanks, League of Legends, I have Ark Knights Enfield, and I have Fortnite.
And what about your non-multiplayer?
Non-multiplayer, I've currently got Mugenics, and I've just picked up Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. Because I just
finished. You put that in your hair or you put that on your skin?
Now, to be fair, it actually looks decent. Like, it looks very quirky.
The thing is, it's like I just recently finished Trails Beyond the Horizon, like a day ago. So I'm moving on to the next.
Oh yeah, I'm playing the first story right now.
What Daybreak? What?
Not Daybreak. Trails in the Sky.
Yes, okay. You're starting from the sky. Okay, yeah.
Let me do this.
I fucking loved Ken, by the way. Ken was magnificent. Like, I think, the spoiler alert, like when I got to the peak, which you don't have to do, you can actually finish the game without getting to the peak of the mountain. I genuinely did get a sense of euphoria and accomplishment that I haven't had in years, I don't think, from a game. It was such a weird feeling. Like, all the stress and all the fucking trauma, like getting to that point, and then just amazing feeling.
Let me get to a couple super chats, guys. Then I want to get Crap's final grade on this here, real quick. Shout out to Willie Gamer, the great Willie Gamers here, keeping the chat definitely entertained. Metal Gear Solid 4, he said, had me more excited than Jeff was for Highguard. Unbelievable show, Mooch. August is looking packed. Oh, and what does he say? Black Myth. Paka was sick, so he's talking about the chicken game, of course. Shout out to the great Willie Gamer. Glitzer says,
sorry, Mooch, I didn't hear that. Say that again.
I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and let Death Singer do that. But I thought I'd give it a shot. Right? Not too bad. Listen, I can do a lot of voiceovers. Me and Crap have been waiting for WNBC to pick us up, but that's not happened yet. Shout out to Glitzer. Yeah. Right? Yeah. All these games is Sony didn't spend $80 billion. Wow. Glitzer with a little bit of a fact truth there. Glitzer says, what game did you not see today that you hope to? I'm going to wait and ask. I'll come back to that, Glitzer, because we did talk a little bit about Corey Balrog's game. Andy Hart, because I'm like 10 behind. Andy Hart says, excellent state of play. My highlight, Resident Evil Requiem. Only downside was hoping for a demo of Requiem this weekend, but didn't hear of it. I got to say real quick, I will pause there for you guys to talk about this. We just talked about marathons. It's not a demo, but it's their whatever, server slam, whatever they want to call it. I don't want Andy Hart. I'm generally with you on 98, 99% of the things that you mentioned in the chat. This one, I'm not there, guys. Like, listen, I want to play RE9, and I don't want to play RE9 before I play RE9. I mean, am I alone? I mean, this game is going to be. You either love this game. You've seen enough of it.
What do you mean?
Resident Evil 9.
RE9 doesn't need a demo.
It does not need a demo.
Oh, I see. Oh, bad demo. Yeah, no, you don't need a demo for that. Come on, at this point.
Yeah, you really don't. It's one of those games, like, Replaced. A demo is good because it's an indie game and people are unsure. But for, like, RE9, that's a known quantity. You know exactly what you're getting with that game. Like, there should be no surprises.
I think Andy Hart's saying it because not because he wants to feel the game out. I think Andy just wants to play the game, which I get. I get that, buddy. Okay. Believe me, I get that.
And to be fair, they have dropped a demo to every single one of their games.
That's true.
It don't have to. It's like a vertical slice of what the game is going to offer. They did it with 8, 7. They
yeah, you're right.
The remakes.
The remakes. Done it. Yep. They have. No. So Andy's not wrong, and Andy, I know he's just excited. He's over the top excited. So I get that. Mariko, it's Brian East. He says Jay Barry used shin kick. It was super effective. So I think he was talking about something that we were talking about earlier. Shout out to Bring Light. He says Soros looks dope. Give it to me now. Not long, buddy. Not too long at all. What is that? April 30th, guys, for Soros? Is that right? April? I think it's correct, April 30th.
Correct. April 30th.
I'm doing this by memery, guys, so bear with me. Shout out again to Bespoke for the outstanding super chat. Thank you, buddy. Dante says, I'm ready for Rooster of War. I'll let Death Singer say the other version of Rooster if he'd like to. At Glinser, because he said it earlier.
Cock of War.
Yes, thank you.
I don't mind.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'm going to be the PG version. Shout out to Glinser. He's back again. He says, if God of War remakes have 2018 third-person view, man. I listen, I got to be honest with you. I didn't even think of that. Jay Barry said that. I didn't even think of that. I thought we were just going to get a much more beautiful version of the games we had. Way better than the remasters we got on the PS3, of course. But, man.
If we get a third person instead of like over isometric or whatever, that will be insane, dude.
Right? That's.
I think they're going to go full out. That's why they say early development. I think they're going to rework. I'm not saying that you're not going to do like the secrets and the things that you can do in or jumping in the original game, but I feel like they're going to rework that in how the look of the Norse game is going to be. So everything's going to be streamlined as far as your experience with God of War going forward.
Jay, you make great points. Why would they use some of that terminology if they're just going to do the same old thing, just make it more, make it a little bit more of the same? So I kind of think you might be onto something.
Like if it was the classic way in a remake, that game would be out this year, man.
Exactly. Or like you said, we would have seen a small clip if they were just redoing the same one that was there, but beautifying it. So I do agree with you, Jay. There's a little bit more behind the curtain that we don't know about. So this was a conversation that I think Detzinger was having, or I know Nib was having with somebody. Maybe it was Wise. Dante says they announced Wolverine at a State of Play. That's a tentpole game. So we were saying that State of Plays didn't get that. I think it was Wise that said it was a showcase that the last time we saw.
I feel like they have announced some big games recently.
Yeah, and I understand
Wolverine. Yeah, that's interesting. If they did Wolverine as well,
Wolverine was at a State of Play for sure.
But Wolverine, they did make that. Somebody brought it to my attention, and they were right that Insomniac did say spring 2026 they were going to bring the news for Wolverine.
Yeah, they are.
I think it will have its own. It will have its own thing.
I think it's going to have its own.
Because
maybe
a lot
dedicated
of their big games, they have their own State of Play, don't they?
Yes. They said more to come in spring because somebody said, someone tweeted to Insomniac and said, are you going to be, present at the State of Play? And they said spring. So I think it's weird if they have a dedicated 30-minute or 25-minute State of Play for Wolverine and it's coming out in September, October. I think that's, did we get a date for Wolverine or is it just still fall? I can't remember off the top of my head. It's just fall.
I don't think we have a specific date, no.
Gordo says, I never thought I would say this, but they need to stop announcing games for 2026. They're going to make me go bankrupt. 2026 is absolutely ridiculously chock full of games. Who is this? Dry Chisel. He says, great show. Biggest surprise for me was Dead or Alive 7. That's something I want to talk to for a second. And I got Jay Barry on here, and shout out to Persona as well. These guys got into the watch. I know Persona did. Jay, did you also get into the Marvel Tokens closed?
Oh yeah.
Okay, you did. Okay, so
I was in both of them.
That's what I thought. Jay, I'm a little jealous of you guys. Okay, because Crap knows this. I'm not in. That's the one genre that I bow out, and it's not because of the don't get good or this and that. Like for me. You guys do some great videos on combos and this player and how you can. Now they're doing the 4-player X-Men thing. Like for me, I left that genre a long time ago. I think once Mortal Kombat 2 left, I left way back in the day. So there's so many great games, and then there's Dead or Alive 7, right? Is that something where you're excited for that game, or is that game a little too nostalgic for you, Jay?
Oh, like the only 3D fighter I really like played like that was Tekken, and I just recently, well, not recently, but at the end of the PlayStation 4, I got into Soul Calibur. So I never really, not saying I never played the Dead or Alive or the Virtual Fighter, but Dead or Alive or Virtual Fighter is a series that I never really got into like that. I played, I think the last remaster of Dead or Alive, whatever it was called, and I didn't even play in like 5 hours in that game.
Jay,
so
isn't Dead or Alive is Dead or
fun.
Alive at the Evo conference or the Evo championships or no?
No, it's Virtual Fighter. I think the remaster that they're doing for Virtual Fighter 5 or 6, whatever. Which one that was. But yeah, I those two, I don't have no like real experience in those games.
Okay, no,
but yeah, I do love fighting games.
But I know you love them. That's why I said that's the one genre where I kind of bow out. That's just something that I don't get into. Even there's no FOMO there for me on that one. But I do respect the games, and I think Marvel Tokens looks like a A+ game. Andy Hart says counting down the hours for Requiem looks amazing. Shout out to Andy. He says, is there a reason? We already talked about the no demo. Andy says also hoping for PSVR 2 support for Requiem. So I saw a lot of people that I you know, when PSVR 2 came out, I followed a lot of people that cover VR. Jay, and anybody on the panel, actually, I just know like Jay may be a little bit more inclined to know this. I think there's definitely no. I think they said they have no report to give on PSVR support for RE9. I didn't hear anything like it's even coming later or stay tuned.
Damn shame what they did at PSVR 2, man.
Well, it's funny.
They dropped the ball big time on a PSVR.
We agree with that. We can agree that the first party dropped the ball big time, but I mean, there's like 300 400 games on that damn thing right now. I mean, so if you went out and bought that thing, especially when it was on sale, I mean, and some of the third party support is phenomenal. So I mean, I have one. I really don't use it as much as I thought I was going to use it. I don't know if they ever do come out with a PSVR 3, which I don't think they will, but if they do, I would probably that would be something I would wait a little bit longer unless they had a killer IP that came out with it, but yeah, you're right. I mean, Jay, I do walk the line with you on that one. I think first party blew it, but there's so many games. You go to the PSVR 2. I remember it was a year and a half ago. Somebody's like, there's 250 games on that thing for you right now if you want PSVR 2. Yeah, and the support keeps coming.
I retract my statement because first party wise, it was a failure. PlayStation definitely dropped the ball on that, but the third party definitely came to. I was playing Thief. It just came out recently, the other like month ago.
Yep,
that game is great. Behemoth, great game as well. So there's some third party games. There's
a new first person shooter that just came out. The name of it slips, but like everybody was ranting and raving about it, and all the people that cover VR on YouTube, like the big VR channel,
Snatched or something like that.
Say it again.
I think it's called like Snatched or.
Yeah, it's something, I don't know. It's got some sort of like a soldier's face is like the main thing. I don't know. I saw it and the numbers were blowing up on it that it finally got PSVR 2 support. So what Sony did right was the tech on the PSVR 2 is phenomenal. I think they just dropped the ball on first party, and I don't know why. I cannot figure that out unless that was the plan from day one. Who knows? Brian, he says, food for thought. Will God of War 1 through 3 remake revival? I think I'm sorry. Rival Final Fantasy 7 1 through 3 remake. If Jay Barry's prediction is true, yes. If it's done less than the effects of.
Hold on. Nothing is ever going to rival Final Fantasy.
Well, I should. Yeah. Well, I could have said that with anybody else on the show but Jay Barry. So I apologize. That's not going to fly.
I'm a PlayStation fan, but listen. There's levels to this.
Okay. All right, so I guess we'll calm down a bit on that excitement. Andy says, does the panel think we'll ever get Resident Evil Biohazard on PSVR 2? Can't understand why it has not been done yet. Well, I mean, the one thing I don't understand, this is one of the things Crap used to talk about a lot, is why not take the games, even if it's a digital purchase or a $10 upgrade, why not make it, because Biohazard is available to play on the original PSVR. So what Andy's asking is why can't we play that on the PSVR 2 with better technical, a better piece of tech? I don't know. I don't know. And I think that's a question that's actually probably more suited for, Capcom. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think they have to kind of put their best foot forward there. Thank you guys for the super chats. I didn't want to let them go too long. Crap. So real quick, I don't know if you have the list in front of you of the games, but what were the few that really stuck out for you? And what's the grade you'd give this thing? And I'll give my grade after yours.
I give it a 9 out of 10. I thought it was really well done. There was a lot of cool stuff that I thought was in there. Like I said, that Star Wars Galactic Racer, the Metal Gear announcement was awesome.
Yep.
I also thought, Silent Hill looked good. And, to me, the John Wick thing was kind of a surprising thing,
Yeah.
And then the same thing with like the God of War announcement. So there was a lot of pretty big size announcements in there. So it was nice the way that they kind of handled that. And even with like the PS Plus stuff coming, like Spider-Man 2 coming to that, I thought they handled it well. The fighting game Marvel Token, I thought that looked pretty good. So yeah, like 9 for me, it's like, and again, I've been pretty critical of their state of plays lately because they mostly have not really appealed to me personally. But this one I was like, whoa, I knew it was John Wick. I was like, that's definitely John Wick, so I was like, I'm a big fan of those movies, I watch them with my wife all the time. So yeah, I also, the Metal Gear Solid thing 4 is just I was just thinking about like popping that back out and playing it, and now it's like, wow, I'll get to play it and enjoy it in like probably somewhat better state. For sure. You know what I mean, you play it on the PS3, it's 30 frames, and you got to play with that. The PS3 is probably my least favorite PlayStation controller. You know what I mean? So yeah, playing it with the DualSense, I'm sure it'll have some cool features to that or whatever. I thought 007 looked pretty good. I've never seen a James Bond movie though. You know what I mean? So I guess I'm kind of weird.
That surprises me, crap, from you.
Yeah, I'm not a big James Bond guy. It's like I liked Austin Powers, and I guess that's like a play on James Bond. So I mean, yeah, I guess I've never been those movies always seemed I don't know, odd to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. So yeah, I was never really got into that stuff. But just from a game standpoint, I think that game looks good. Just like, I guess if you were never a fan, would you probably be able to enjoy it? Just the guy's a spy and he uses cool shit. I guess you could probably enjoy it either way.
Yeah. I think honestly, it's kind of the same way that you enjoyed, I think, Indiana Jones. It's that same kind of, I mean, I think there's a little bit more of that wittiness coming from that Indiana Jones, that Harrison Ford character. But I mean, that confident, like really kind of that stagger that he's got. You know what I mean? That's really cool coming from the 007 world. You know what I mean? I think you might like that character and the way that I don't know. I could definitely see that being in your repertoire. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's the cool thing about it is like a lot of the stuff they showed is like stuff that I would be interested in playing, and so I think that's always kind of a cool thing about these types of announcements and stuff. And Sony, they did a good job with it. It's like they've got some stuff in the mix that's console exclusive, which I think is cool. Gives you a reason to kind of have the platform.
Yep.
And I think that's like one of the exciting things about it too. Like people get on me because I was like, oh man, Metal Gear Solid 4 looks good. I knew that would be coming to Xbox too, but it's like, the point is, I mean, there's just cool. What I like about Sony stuff is they do some third party stuff, but it's like on a bigger scale. When you look at the Microsoft stuff, it's like mostly they only announce stuff that's going to be in Game Pass or it's their own first party stuff. And if you're not interested in that stuff, then you're not going to be. You know what I'm saying? It's like here we get a lot more varied announcements, and even if it's third party, which is I think that's what's cool about it. They're it's like, oh, okay, you want another Silent Hill game? There you go. You want a fighting game? There you go. It's like Dead or Alive. There you go. You know what I'm saying? It's like they were doing, they got a lot of cool stuff.
Yes. I wrote that down. Crap. I wrote that.
Awesome,
I wrote that down actually in my notes there. I wrote different types of games for different types of players.
Because even though like like a new Castlevania, that's pretty cool. You know what I mean? I actually think that looks pretty cool, and that's only a $40 game.
Right.
So that's that's.
Did they give They didn't give a release date though. Crap. Right. I thought they just said 2026. Right.
Yeah, there's no release date, but it's up for pre-order and stuff.
Okay.
And it looks like you're going to be able to get a physical edition of that, at least on PlayStation. It's like, I don't know about Xbox.
Yeah, not sure yet.
It's like, I don't know. Yeah, I think you'd be foolish to get anything physical on Xbox if you plan on sticking with them, because I don't think anything they do next generation is going to allow for physical games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I gave it an 8.5. I wrote, when I'm just telling you guys what I wrote, reaction right after the show. I put an 8.5 down. And it was just because of that diversity through that entire portfolio of games that we saw, right? You know what I mean? Everything.
Yeah.
And, a lot of it was third party, and I get that. I totally get that. But you see what's coming there. A lot of them saying designed for the PlayStation 5. That tells me that developers are working hand in hand a lot with, that gentleman that was working there for PlayStation.
Mooch,
I
is
thought
a
that
lot
was
of
a lot.
those games are actually coming to the Switch 2 as well. I was kind of surprised by that.
Yeah, I mean,
looking at the list, I didn't know,
which games coming to the Switch that surprised you? Which one kind of?
I think Metal Gear coming to the Switch is kind of surprising.
But that doesn't surprise me too much, right? I mean, they're going to be redone, but they're not going to look like,
Yeah.
They're going to be cleaned up a little bit, but they can definitely play a Switch 2 hardware.
Yeah, that's true, I guess.
I mean,
I'm just kind of surprised by it,
yeah.
I guess, some of that stuff.
You know what I mean? I don't know. I can see why initially, but the more I think about it, the Switch 2 crap is getting tremendous third-party support. Now the performance on it, but see, again, if you're a PC gamer or you're an Xbox Series owner or you're a PS5 owner, and then you see the comparisons that Digital Foundry's doing between Switch 2 and some of the consoles or PC, I think that's ridiculous. But if there's a lot of people out there, that just have a Switch 2, and they only had a Switch 1, they missed a lot of third-party games crap. So I mean,
yeah, they did.
Like all of them actually. So
yeah, I know it's like it's surprising. I'm in a good way though. Like here's the thing. Like I care. People don't realize this, but I care about the health of the console lives, right? Like the consoles in general. I want to see them.
That's
do
right.
Well.
Same.
And yeah, so it's like even though it's like Microsoft really kind of hampered themselves when people talk about console sales dying, it's like PlayStation. I think with GTA 6 is going to push past what the PS4 did with the PS5.
I agree.
Sure.
I agree.
And the Switch 2 is breaking record. I think once they start rolling with some of the big first party
they
stuff,
don't have Mario and Zelda aren't out yet.
Yeah. I mean, right now it's interesting because they're getting a lot of third-party support, which is good news. But I want to see all the stuff be successful because I don't want to see consoles go away. I like, just the idea of plug and play, and you just have some fun with that stuff. And the games are looking like these games are looking great. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we're just getting in our stride.
That's it.
I think probably the pandemic and stuff really hurt a lot. With that, but it's like the funny thing is too though. Is I'm fully expecting Sony to blow off the doors the last couple of years. Because if you think about it, God of War came out in 2018.
Yeah, that's what they did last gen. Yeah.
God of War came out in 2018, and then 4 years later, even through a pandemic, they came out with Ragnarok. So 4 years after that would put it this year, right?
Right.
Same thing with Horizon Zero Dawn came out in 2017 or whatever. Then they came out with the next one in 2022. Same year. Yeah, and now here we are 4 years. So we're probably in line for another mainline one of those too. You got Galactic. They've got probably a lot of stuff.
Corey Balrog's game. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming down.
They got a lot of stuff. I'm sure it's going to be like the PS4, man. I was like the PS4. The second half of the PS4 life cycle was huge. That's when I was playing most of. Man, I remember one year it was like Spider-Man and Detroit, which I just absolutely loved. That was such an amazing game. And then they did God of War that year. It was crazy. I'm fully expecting them to continue to do stuff. We got the Venom game and the Wolverine game. They got a lot of cool stuff coming on the horizon.
Well, that's what I said, crap. I'm glad you kind of recited the games because I've been saying this for a long time. Everyone's got short-term memory. Everyone's like the PS5 doesn't hold a candle to the PS4. They were saying that a while ago. I'm like, but it was the second half of PS4 that you were running with this.
People forget the first half of the PS4 was like Resogun.
Yeah.
And Drive Club,
Knack.
Order 1886. I mean, no offense to people that like those games. I know people that liked them or whatever, but those couldn't hold a candle.
No, Bloodborne was the only thing that really kind of put the first years on the map, and
and then when Spider-Man hit and Ghost of Tsushima and Last of Us 2 and all that stuff, it was huge. Days Gone. That's
right.
Really it's so frustrating that game didn't launch in a slightly better state because we would be getting we would have already had a sequel.
Yeah.
And instead it's just because obviously they re-released it, they remastered it or whatever.
Yeah.
We could have gotten a sequel. They should have just done a sequel, whatever reasons. That game sold well. Could you imagine your game sells 7-10 million copies and you don't get a sequel? That's crazy.
I don't quite understand that. And don't give me the fatigue, not you, but don't the industry, the fatigue on the zombies. The fatigue on the how many zombies? There's so many games coming out with zombies as the main character. Get out of here. I hate
when people use that excuse.
I hate that,
fatigue.
Jay.
open world fatigue. I got battle royale fatigue.
Yeah.
And then the most popular games are these open world battle royale.
Exactly. You know what I mean, dude? I got news for you, and I know I'm one customer, so it's a small census. It doesn't matter. But like, come on, dude. If there's zombies, like the what do you call it? Just came out. World War what is it? World War Z, the Walking Dead edition. It either just came out or it's coming out soon. It was supposed to come out in January. I think it ended up getting delayed into February. It may be out now. If you guys know in the audience, let me know. But like, I'm gonna buy that anyway, just because I want to play through those levels as Rick and Michonne, and you know what I mean. Like, that's what I want to do. I'm gonna buy it. It's a zombie game. I'm there for it.
Have you tried Dispatch yet, Mooch?
I have not tried Dispatch yet.
Oh my gosh, that's probably my dude. That game is so amazing. Like I played through it back to back, just to get some different things. But it is like played on PlayStation 5. It's crazy good, man. It is like the story is insane, and like it's funny, and you know it's really just.
How long's each playthrough? Crap.
It took me for the first playthrough about 13 hours.
Okay.
And then I played through it again, and it took me about another like 11, 12 hours because I was a little bit more, you know, I kind of knew what was coming. But there's different choices with different outcomes. So you'll probably want to go back and, you know, and the trophies are easy to get, but it'll require a couple playthroughs to get all of them. But I'm telling you, if you like just story based, it's not like you're not moving around or anything.
No,
you know what I'm saying? You're making choices and, you know, like QTE stuff, but you're like dispatching your superheroes to different things. So that takes, you know, some skill to figure out, you know, which heroes would be best. And, you know, just like for me, like I played that game this year, but it came out last year, but it would have been my favorite game of last year as well. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just because I had such a good time with it. And I was surprised that I slept on it so long because I'd heard really good things about it. And it's from former Telltale devs, people who did like Wolf Among Us and stuff. So yeah, so I was like, yeah, man, that's definitely, and that's PS5 console exclusive right now. I think it might be going to the Switch at some point, or it did, but it's like they fully, you know, they covered everything up, man. The cut, like some of the stuff in that game, they censored a lot of it on Switch, so that's like I wouldn't recommend playing it then because that takes away some of the fun.
Yeah, no, you know what? You said this to me. We were talking in DMs, and you said the same thing. And honestly, a lot of people have been telling me to grab it. The thing is, I'm going to sound like Death Singer here. There's so many games out there. I'm like, you know, it's like,
you know, like I have a bunch of games. Like I want to play. Like I just got Ghost of Yotei, but I wanted to go through and finish. Like I never finished that IK Island on Ghost of Tsushima. So I started on the PS5 Pro all over with that game and did the whole thing. It was excellent, man. So I did that one, and then I did Avowed. I finished that finally on Xbox. That took me almost an entire year to finish that. It was just like a slog at the end, you know. It's like, but I beat that Star Wars Outlaws game. That game turned out to be pretty decent after a lot of the updates. Yeah, you know, so if you guys ever do come across that for a cheap price, pick it up because it's fun. It's fun.
It's still a Star Wars universe, you know what I mean? And that's something there's
a lot of Easter eggs and stuff in there, you know what I mean? So it's like it's fun. And then I was like, oh man, you know what game kind of came into my mind recently was Sleeping Dogs, and I had beat that game on 360, Xbox One, and PS3, and I had started it on PS4, and I never finished it, so I'm almost at the end of that.
Oh wow! All right,
I'll probably hop into Ghost. Yeah, dude, I love Sleeping Dogs, man. That's like one of my favorite games. I wish we would have gotten a sequel.
But
it's like that game is so fun, and it's just like one of those amazing games. And you know, again, for me, I've been trying to build up on the PS collection a little bit more, right? And it's not, you know, it's because you don't know what's going to happen with Microsoft, but like I don't exactly trust them with like my digital games or any of my physical games either, because you know I think they're going in a direction where you're not going to be able to use them regardless of whatever they put out next. But so I've been building up the PlayStation side. That, believe it or not, everybody talks about, you know, Steam sales or these sales. PlayStation does really great sales too.
They do,
like digitally and stuff. Like you can pick up tons of games for a few bucks. It's like, I mean, the amount of games that, you know, I get is like the South Park games, a couple bucks each. You know, this game, a couple bucks. This game, $2. You know, it's like the stuff that it's incredibly affordable to like build up. So that's why I say like I don't really necessarily buy into that whole, well, you got your digital library and nobody's going to change. Like it's easier and cheaper to change now than ever.
It is, in
my opinion. I mean, you can just like you can get all your backlog games again. That's what I'm doing.
A lot of those older games are, you know, just, I wouldn't use the words couple of bucks, but probably anywhere from $10 to $15 for the older games.
Yeah. I mean, they are. They're not very, like I got even was that Hogwarts Legacy. It was like $8
Yeah.
on PlayStation. That I had already bought that RoboCop game on Xbox originally.
Yep.
But it was $5 on PlayStation one day.
Dude,
I was like, I'm just gonna buy that shit again.
That's
you know
a
what
fucking
I mean?
great game.
It's good stuff. Oh my gosh, I love that game.
I got
man.
the platinum in that game. That game was fun as hell. Talk about nostalgia,
dude.
Holy
I was like,
shit.
wow, this is, and it's the guy voicing him too.
Yeah, it is.
And it was incredible. The only thing that I had problem with that end boss was like. They really ramped up the I was like sweating at the end of that handball. He kept coming back, and I'm like, "Come on, man!"
Like,
I was almost dead.
I thought this was over. Yeah, no.
Yeah, but man, that game was awesome. And not only that, but that game for a smaller developer, that game might be one of the better looking games I've seen this generation. It looked.
Well, they were one of the first ones. I think
Right.
I think that was a UE5 game too, and it was one of the first ones really that kind of shined.
60 FPS too, and they were doing like the ray tracing, all that kind of stuff. So I was like, holy shit.
Andy Hart was asking what
so
resolution
good,
is the Switch 2? Also, how's the frame rate? Andy, are you talking about the game that Crap was just saying that the game's going to come out on Switch 2? I don't know if you're talking about the Metal Gear games that he was talking about, but I don't think
They're probably going to be 30.
Yeah, I would think 30 as well. I really would.
Which is fine, but I mean.
Well, we were talking about fatigue. Babor's here. Now the show can start. Babor Country is here. He says, fatigue for all except FromSoft. Hey, he goes, what's the story of Elden Ring about? Guys, we got to get a new God of War today. We got a new God of War today. Happy PlayStation gamer. Singer cannot relate. Babor always going after Singer in a very healthy way, though. Sometimes a little.
Well, it's fun.
You know
what's funny about that that team that did the RoboCop game? They really worked their way up. They did this really shitty Rambo game on the 360 and PS3, right? Like this horrible Rambo game that's worth a lot of money if you have it physically right now, but it was so bad. And then they did a pretty good Terminator game, right? I think it was Terminator Salvation, and then they moved from that into RoboCop, which was excellent. So both the Terminator and the RoboCop games were really well done. So they really kind of grew into being a fairly good developer. It's like I got to say they did a damn good job.
Well, there was 2 Terminator games that came out almost back to back. One was highly rated. One was not so good. I assume theirs was the better one. I don't remember.
Yeah, Terminator Salvation, I think.
Yeah, and that one did well.
Let's see. Salvation.
I don't remember.
Oh no, hold on. Terminator. Hold on, I'll see what game.
While you look that up, Nib, the next topic is Nib focused. Nib, crap. Let me know what that score is if you're gonna take a look at it. But we have to talk about Wildlight and Highguard, and it's not to just say, hey Nib, I want to get your thoughts on them laying off a bunch of the people that work there. I don't know if it's like 80%, 90%.
Terminator Resistance.
Oh, Resist. That was the good one or the bad one?
Yeah, that's the good one.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. I remember...
I think they laid off 80% of the staff.
80%, but they said the game is going to stay active, but we know that that's probably temporary, right, Neb? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I've put on it's probably on borrowed time, but you never know. 20 developers is not... I don't know what kind of money they're making from.
Right.
Obviously, there's like 5,000 people playing it on PC. I don't know about on console. Let's just say another 5,000 on console. Is 10,000 really enough? I don't know. Again, it's one of those things where I enjoy the game, right? I have 50 plus hours in it. I have a selection of people I play it with as well. And all of us play it like quite a lot. They've invested in skins and stuff. So it is a shame. But as I said towards the end of your last show, it doesn't matter what I think. It's what the market thinks, right? There's this, we always say, like, make great games and they'll sell. That is not, I'm not saying it's a great game. It's a solid game. I wouldn't say it's exceptional. And in this current, it's so much vying for your attention.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is it saturation, Nib? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, look at right now. Obviously, you've got the Marvel's Rivals game. You've got Arc Raiders sold 14 million copies, right?
Since October.
Fortnite is still really popular. Warzone is still really popular.
Yeah, Warzone's still doing really popular. Yep.
There's all these games, and it's like
Rainbow Six Siege is unbelievably
popular.
Yeah.
I forgot all about that game, but when I look at the top played games, it's always there.
It's always there.
Exactly, and it's one of those things where we only have limited time and money, right?
Right.
If you've already invested in skins and content and everything else like that in Arc Raiders, do you really want to start over on another game all over again, especially so close to Arc Raiders when it's still
popping with a lot of people. I know Mooch, you've put like 120 million hours into.
I have too many in,
but a lot of people don't get to play that much, right? They may just play for an hour or two a day after they get back from work or whatever. If that. So they're still in the like almost like a honeymoon period of that game, right?
That's a great point.
So I think it's one of those. And I was speaking to someone about this earlier actually, and I was saying, that I just wasn't good. And I was like, sometimes it's just the time and place. Like I honestly think Titanfall 2 is one of the best first-person shooters ever. Like honestly, like probably in my top 10. And that had a poor demise. There's a lot of really good games that have commercial. They don't do well commercially. Gravity Rush and what's that one with the like a dog cat thing? It was in development for ages. One of PlayStation. I think the people who made Last Guardian. Yeah, there's a lot of games like that. I had a whole list. There's like 10 games I had on the list.
Good on Jay Barrio, whoever just said that. Like when you said dog cat, I was thinking not. I was thinking more like
the Last Guardian.
Listen, one game I love is that game, bro. That's an emotional.
It's so good. Yeah, I love it. But it didn't do well. Dreams didn't do well. Dreams.
Yeah.
Genuinely, like when I see like Roblox doing so well and Minecraft and stuff, and I think, as someone who's literally experimented in both games, Dreams is like the next gen evolution of Roblox, and yet Roblox is crazy popular and Dreams like faltered, right? Even though the technology is far superior, what you can create in it is far superior. It's crazy. The whole vector, the system they came up with, instead of using polygons, they use some other system.
Mm-hmm.
There's all these things that have gone into it technologically, and it's like, but again, it didn't do well. So again, like I said, even though I really enjoy it, the market hasn't accepted it, and I don't think it had a good marketing platform to begin with, by being the final game in the Game Awards and having everyone's ire. And it's a real shame because, like, I really do think mechanically, it has so much potential, and it actually plays amazingly well. Like, it's basically Apex Legends, right, in terms of like controls and missions.
Yes.
And
I think
and there's so much depth to this to the movement. I actually think there's more depth than even in Apex Legends. As someone who has, I think I have 1,100 wins in Apex Legends. But in this game, the crouch carries more momentum. So the way you can string crouch, jump, slide, and all the rest of it, and the way you swing around corners and stuff, like if you master the controls and momentum, you can actually dominate, and you can even look like you're playing totally different from everyone else. So yeah, like I said, it is what it is. I've made a tweet before. I think I had 32 live service games on the tweet that failed, and this will probably end up being number 33 or whatever. It's just one of those genres where if you make it, you can make an obscene amount of money from the microtransactions and everything like that. But so many of these live service attempts are falling to the wayside, and they're probably costing a hell of a lot of money while doing so.
Yeah, so, I guess my part, and Jay Barry, I'll go to you here because you heard what Nib said. And Nib, listen, some games just call out to people. I played probably about 3-4 hours with Nib. I would have liked to have played even more. And, the game's still active, so we certainly can.
Yeah.
But Jay, you had you're out there fighting the good fight every day for like Concord. And I'm not. This is not about Concord. It's not. Yeah. I just want to say, like, Jay, what is it?
About the C word, man. Come on, man.
Well, no, yeah, I'm not trying to get you all riled up, Jay.
I see his tweets every now and again.
That's my point. Well, the thing is, though,
not gonna lie, I miss Concord, man. Like, really and truly, I do miss that game. But go ahead, my bad, Mooch.
No, my question for you, Jay, is it was kind of two-part, and that's what I put into the into what I have here with the Highguard situation. What are we learning about the gaming business and gamers alike? Like, it's like the game came out, Highguard came out, Concord came out. The games were not broken, right? Nobody was like, oh, this game's a broken mess, blah, 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 this and that. Is it a situation where it's just time is saturated now? I mean, shout out to, was it Mr. Grimm who just put a list in here? Somebody else, put a list out and then right here, pardon me. Shout out to Crow. He says Overwatch, Apex, Rainbow Six Siege, Rivals. Then there's Warzone. Then there's Fortnite, right? after a while, like you're asking for the same players to split up from their favorite games and go play, and then Arc Raiders comes out, and now let's say even Marathon gets a sliver of the pie, Jay. Like listen, I love my multiplayer games. You guys know that. And Call of Duty, right, Jay? It's probably the year I played the least amount of Call of Duty with Arc Raiders coming out at the same time. That kind of really is the first time I've ever deviated from, like, I do some Warzone for some footage and stuff like that, but I gotta be honest with you, like I'm playing a lot of Arc Raiders. Like my point being is like it's not that the games aren't good, Jay. Is it because you're splitting up the same audience? Is that some of it, or
really and truly? I feel like.
Yeah, what do you think the reason is?
The narratives from people that don't play the game, because it's more about a numbers thing. As far as like, if somebody's popular and they share a sentiment about a game, that can legit kill a game. Like Concord had its issues. Don't get it twisted. I don't think Concord was a perfect game, but yeah, when it came to the performance, the gameplay, that's visual aspect, like to me, that stuff attracted me to the game. There's other things that other games within the genre done better than Concord. They could have did a lot better with the character progression. They could have did a lot better with like. Not just the stats, but just like displaying certain information right in your face. Like Marvel Rivals, they do a great job displaying information. With Highguard is a weird situation, to be honest with you, because people are upset with that game because it closed out the show. I don't think people are really upset with the game, because if you really played Highguard, I'm not saying that there's nothing, it wasn't a perfect game, because I had my criticism for it, and thank God they actually listened, because right when I said that this game, it should not be no 3v3, it should be a 5v5.
That's right.
They did 5v5 and they tested it, and I told people, I said, once they do this 5v5, it's going to be the main thing where people play, and boom, right there. Oh, not a test anymore, this is the main mode. But anyways, Highguard had his issues, but the gameplay was fun. The action, the gun engagements was fun. Now that you add the 5v5, you're getting more of that stuff.
That's right.
But the issue with it's like Concord. The issue people have with Concord is the look of characters for some strange reason. Now, the issue that people have with Highguard is the fact that it closed out Jeff Keighley's show. They're like, that's not a close out game. And people are packing the game up because of that. You know what I mean? So
they are packing it up because of that.
At the end of the day, a good game people will play regardless. Call of Duty is one of the most popular games out there, but Arc Raiders came out. Guess what people did? Oh, let me try this game out. What, they playing it? There's the whole time aspect, that's excuses that people create. You know what I mean? That's not to play. If you don't want to play, you don't want to play it. But if a good game comes out and it catches your interest, it's no different than like, all right, Call of Duty. I know, Mooch, you play a lot of Call of Duty. You stream a lot of Call of Duty. But guess what you did? For another good game that came out,
I left it.
Pack Call of Duty exactly to play the other game. You didn't make the excuse, oh, I'm playing Call of Duty and put money in the Call of Duty. No, you will go out there, you will play the game. You know what I mean? But
That's
people
right.
had people in this day and age in gaming will create all these excuses outside of actually playing the game or the game mechanics to not play a game. You know what I mean?
You say that, right? This new thing, because obviously, like I tweet about everything that I enjoy, right? And every time I tweet about Highguard, they're like, how much are they paying you? This, that, and the other. And, there's so many haters. It's funny. So my new thing is just like, what platform did you play it on? Give me your PSN or Steam ID. And I'm telling you, the loudest fucking mouths, right? Oh, it's trash, it's this, it's that. The moment you ask for their credentials, quiet as a fucking church
don't get
mouse.
Jay started on that.
Out of 15 people I've asked, right, only one actually responded, and they didn't even get the first trophy.
In Highguard?
That been the thing for years.
Do they throw that first trophy at you after your first match?
No, they didn't even get past the bloody training. I feel like they just played it just to hate on it. It's so funny. So don't get me wrong. I'm sure loads of people who played it did not enjoy it. I'm just talking about you can look through my tweets and look at me asking people and stuff. But the people I ask in my responses, as soon as you ask them, they go into hiding, dude. It's they go and they run. And I'm just like, these people, they're just people who need to follow the herd. Like they haven't even played the game.
Right.
And to be honest, fanboys do this on all sides. And I even say, Like there's one of these spaces that I do enjoy, but it's called the Pony Barn. It's tongue in cheek. It's jokes and stuff. And there are some people in there where they will slate Xbox games and that they haven't played them, and it's the same sort of thing. Like you can't be slating on games that you haven't even tried. Even me, the games I was critical of, fucking Concord, right? But I have like 15, 20 hours in it. I think that's a good enough amount of hours to have a good judgment. I was critical of Redfall. I have like 3-4 hours in it. Like, so at least I'm making an educated opinion rather than just hate playing a game. And to be fair, like, whereas other people, I find like they enjoy shitting on stuff, I actually try to play a game and try to find the silver lining in it. Try to find something to enjoy in it. But these days it feels like negativity sells, basically.
Oh, absolutely.
Every single fucking game.
Go ahead, Destiny.
The thing about multiplayer is Highguard suffer because the thing is, it's like if you want to capture someone, you need to have a clear identity as a game, and you need to do it well. League has survived for 12 years because it focuses and just iterates and improves. Like, for example, Marvel Rivals was also benefited by the fact that the Overwatch community was disenfranchised with Overwatch, right? They absolutely hated Overwatch 2. Now, they managed to turn it around by, going back to the original name and actually putting 6v6 in, which is fucking great, finally. I don't know why 5v5 was a thing, you bunch of dullards, but whatever. But the thing is, Marvel Rivals came out and drew that Overwatch crowd in because they were like, oh, Overwatch, fuck this game. We need something new. Well, Marvel Rivals was like, hey, we do Overwatch, but better than Overwatch.
Right.
So we'll get in there. And then it's like Arc Raiders has a nice margin because Tarkov is PC exclusive, right? So when you look at extraction shooters on console, you really don't have that much of a choice. And on PC, Tarkov is just more hardcore. So if you make a casual version, boom, Arc Raiders did it and they captured the market, and look how successful it is. So I think you have to pick a specific identity for what you're going to be and just be amazing at that identity. Don't try and be 10 different genres in one because you're not going to do any of them perfectly. You don't have the time to make them all perfectly. And when we first saw Highguard, the maps were big, but when they said 3v3, I was like, these are too big for 3 people.
Yeah, that's a big map for 3.
I was like, that's more like it. That's what you should have started with.
Mooch, we played 3v3.
We did,
right?
yeah.
Would you say, based on the matches we had, were they lacking in action?
The 3v3s? So I'll put it this way: they were lacking in action for the first until we got first 2 minutes until we actually got the sword.
Shield breaker. Yeah, exactly right. That's exactly what I said. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's basically like just the first 2 minutes, which is just to collect your loot. And I think like a lot of people are trying to find other people to kill during those 2 minutes. Even though in the top it says gear up,
it says
not kill
gear
people,
up, right? That's right.
Up.
Because when we turned to the 5v5 and we played more of those, Nib, when we ended up going that way, remember while we were gearing up, we were like, whoa, we hear the other team on the other side of the wall. We're running right into them. So it went from this longer stretch, which kind of went from 2 to 3 minutes initially with 3v3 to probably a minute and a half before we ran into enemies with 5v5. And
bro, I guess that 3v3 was not it. It was not it, especially how they have the shield breaker stuff. You can instantly pick that up. Something that strong, you can instantly pick that up. In 3v3, somebody pick up that shield breaker. Not saying that you can't run them down, but most of the time they already at your base and you got to teleport all the way fucking to the base. Now with 5v5, it's 5v5. You can create more strategies when it comes to shield breaker or getting it. You can have 2 people be defensive.
Personally, I think 4v4 would be the sweet spot. I think like maybe 3 sometimes. It wants like 1 person or 2 people is out.
They should have had a series of maps for 3v3 that were smaller and then larger ones for the 4 or 5.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, and at the end of the day, look, I always say the market decides, so I can't be a hypocrite. The market has decided, and I will say to Death Singer's point, he's probably right. You probably do have to have a more refined focus. But as someone who likes amalgamations of genres, that does disappoint me because I would actually love more games to have cross-genre pollination and, like have one genre in one particular section of the game and another one. Like even like a Kingdom Hearts, I like the fact that it has this shipbuilder stuff mixed in with a fucking action game. Like I actually like when games do stuff like that because it reduces the tedium and it adds new complexity and strategy and a different variation of gameplay. And it's kind of like, I don't think, live service players are liking the fact that it's a looter, it's a fucking, bomb defusal, it's a friggin' capture the flag and all these other things in single round.
Well, are you guys shocked? The last question I'll really ask you guys is, are you shocked at how quick companies will now pull the plug on these games? Like I was shocked that Concord got pulled that quick. I was shocked.
They cost a lot of money.
Yep, they cost a lot of money.
I'm not shocked at all, man.
And
friggin' imagine $80,000 a person. And and then rent rates. Imagine Los Angeles, how much they're paying. It must be astronomical.
Yeah, but aren't there? And I'm trying to rack my mind here. An audience, let me know if I'm right or wrong on this. But there's other games that came. Okay, let's use Rainbow Six Siege. Like when Rainbow Six Siege came out. No, this is probably a bad example. I don't have the stats in front of me. But that game actually got bigger as it got older, right? Like when it first came out, people weren't like Rainbow Six Siege. That's the latest hotness. You got to get on this. Like people weren't saying that, and then it developed into the game that it is today. What I'm saying is don't you have to let the game exist for a little? Like this game came out 2 weeks ago. Highguard, 3 weeks ago.
I agree with that. You gotta let the game.
Reach an audience.
Like a live service.
Yeah.
To adjust to people's feedback and things like that. 2 weeks and
2 weeks,
1 month is not enough.
I get the money and I get people getting paid. I mean, shoot, ask people that, like, hey, listen, we're at a point right now where we're either going to let people go or we're going to ride this thing out for a little bit, and you're going to, you got to take a cut in salary. A lot of people might go, well, I'll take the cut in salary. Maybe they'll leave while they look for another job. That's their right. But instead of just being like you're let go, I don't know, like reduce some of the cost.
I think it's more a case with Highguard though, where like they've done the calculation that okay, this is the amount of content we have that can, satiate the game for the next 6 months. Say, like maybe they've got 3-4 battle passes ready, right? And then it's just a case of what's the core team we need, the amount we actually have to spend to make new content and updates.
Yeah.
And you don't if they don't plan to make another game, for example. You don't really need 100 developers, right? Like 20 is enough to support the current model.
I question the whole roadmap stuff when these games get packed up so quick, because if you like Concord, because Highguard is still in play. We just got an update today from what I looked at my PlayStation. Concord, they had a whole roadmap for like to this year. You know what I mean? It was like till 2026 roadmap of multiple seasons and things in plan. But the game got packed up in 2 weeks. The fact that people didn't buy it, understandably, but did you really have those things in development or developed, you know what I mean, to get the game updated or those seasons updated? Because
I don't think Concord did, but I think Highguard definitely does. Because honestly, and I'm not just saying this, Highguard's cosmetics and models and stuff is some of the best I've experienced in any live service game, full stop. It kind of reminds me a bit of Apex Legends. Like the stuff they've already put out just in a couple of weeks is like mad. The different mounts, hellhounds.
I'm gonna say Marvel Rivals, the best.
Marvel Rivals, yeah. But that's slightly different though, because obviously it's Marvel IP, so there's a bit, this is a bit more. But like even every gun model, like all the legendary models, they're completely different. Some have thatch work, some have gold and ivory and material cloth.
Yeah, I gotta say, for someone that's loving Arc Raiders as much as I am, I will say, and I bought about 3 or 4 skins now, maybe 5. They got some terrible skins. Like they're just absolutely.
You also have to put price to what the cosmetics are, right? And it's like, is it a fan favorite? It's like my number one where I bought the most cosmetics is obviously League, right? I have like over 900 skins or whatever, ranging from like legendary to mythic to prismatic, like the whole shebang, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, thing is, they make skin lines and then they have like a theme for the skin line and give it to different characters. So like you would have, for example, Project, right? Now bunch of characters will be selected, and they'll all get project skins, and they all look different. Like Project is more cyberpunk, so they're all dressed up in like robotics, stuff like that. And then you have like more cute skins, but also you need good characters that people actually care about. But also the characters need to look good. Like for example, it's no surprise that certain characters get more skins than others. Why does Lux have 15 skins, and why does Ornn only have 4 skins?
Mhm.
Well, that's because people are more likely to buy the Lux skins, so of course she has more time invested into her skins because they all look good and they sell really well. So they've mastered it where everything is thought about on the consumer side about how to position the skins, and obviously if a skin line doesn't work, they're like, okay, we'll pack that shit up and try again and do something different. It's also the price, right? The price is reasonable. Like you look at the price, you're like, I'm willing to do that. It's like on Fortnite, you have a skin and it's like 1,500 V-Bucks, right? Which is, I don't know, in my money that's like £7 or whatever, right? That's reasonable for a skin, especially if you're giving me something like Goku. Of course, I'm gonna £7 for Goku, sure. £7 for Master Chief, £7 for Kratos.
It's not reasonable, dude.
That
I
is
know we've
reasonable.
accepted it. Yeah, I know we've accepted it, but that's outrageous. It's outrageous.
Well, I mean, it's the price of all cosmetics, though. All cosmetics are technically not worth it, but people still buy tons of skins.
Most
anyway.
of the
money people have.
Well, in these games that Death Singer's using versus the ones I'll just say right now, like Nib. Well, same thing, Nib. The way that Arc Raiders and Warzone is very similar to what Highguard was doing, right? It was $20 for the bundle.
I honestly feel a bit, even though I bought and I enjoy Arc Raiders, I do think it kind of sets a bad precedent for gaming going forward. And this is why gamers are real funny, because they're so like picky and choosy. They'll pipe up about one fucking random stupid thing, and then other things slip through the works. And this is a $40 game, so they charged for the game. It had very little in the way of custom cosmetics and unlocks and stuff like that. And then the ones that they did have were far too expensive. I think they've put the cost down now. But like,
what game
and then Arc Raiders.
Oh.
Arc Raiders. It was one of my like complaints with it, and it's like, come on, man! Like I paid £40 for this game as well, so I should get more content than even a free to play game.
That's one thing with them live service games. That store, they're gonna have that thing ready.
I'm saying even bloody Highguard, I had better cosmetics than I did in bloody Arc Raiders, and Arc Raiders was a paid game. Like, come on, like.
Yeah, you make a good point with
kind
that.
of accepted that.
Yeah, the best skin.
So now now on, we're going to pay for games,
right,
and still get stripped of content and charge for the content anyway.
That's correct. So it's funny you say that too. The best skin, in my personal opinion, the best skin in Arc Raiders. You guys ready for this? Is if you got the skin that if you pre-ordered the game. That's the best one that they've made, and it is. Yeah. I don't even have it. I didn't pre-order the game. It's not that I didn't want to. I was the same way a lot of people are skeptical about Marathon. Remember, everyone has short-term memory. Now everyone who plays Arc is like, oh, I wanted it from day one. I always wanted it. No, you didn't. Like, you tried it out, you liked it, and then you bought it, which is, by the way, totally fine. I wanted to try the game first. I wasn't home for the. It was funny. They had the beta weekend. Of course. I think it came out the weekend that I actually went to I had gotten a buddy of mine had tickets out in Denver, and I was like, I'm going to be out that way. I was out in Denver. I watched the Giants and the Broncos game. By the way, Giants should have won that game. That's a different podcast, though. And I was out there. I missed the beta, so I didn't pre-order it because I was like, I want to wait. I'll wait. I'll play the game, and if it's good, it's good. Best skin was if you pre-ordered. The ones they've had that you pay $20 on top of, like you say, the $40 that we paid for it, Nib. Not even close. They look terrible. It looks like I can't draw. I'm not an artist, and I could draw better. I'm terrible.
Yeah.
It's
but no word of a lie. Games if I don't want to give away a business model here, but if games let us add our own like ZBrush or whatever files and models and stuff, I could literally fucking get someone, like pay them on the side, or someone could be putting it on one of the ArtStation type things, mass producing for like $1. It would be a super high quality skin, and then we could just import it into the game. So the fact that they're trying to charge 10, 15, 20 quid for something that is going to be mass purchased, right?
Yeah.
They probably took an artist, like, even if it took them a few hours, even if it took them a few days, obviously some people are really skilled. They can bang them out real quick, like one skin. But this is something that's going to be purchased potentially thousands of times. It's just pure profit and greed.
Yep. Shout out to Striker in the chat. He says you get the one skin from playing the finals. Yeah, I mean, Striker, I don't know if you're trying to say that that's a perk because it's a free one, but I'll be honest with you, I saw that skin. It's not great. The one you get for playing 3 rounds in the finals, you get a free skin because Embark is, you know, the developers of the finals as well. But that's not a great one. It's like a pair of like red pajamas and a silver helmet. You know what I mean? It's not awful, but it's not great. I don't know. That's just go ahead, Death Singer.
If you're going to release a paid game, you need to have good cosmetics. Because it's easy on a free-to-play game to convince people to buy cosmetics because it's free-to-play, right? League free-to-play, Valorant free-to-play, Warzone free-to-play, Apex free-to-play, Rivals free-to-play, Overwatch free-to-play.
Yep.
Valorant free-to-play. So, of course, people are going to and then you add fire skins on top of it. People are willing to check out your store and go, well, I mean, that skin does look really, really cool. I'm sure I'll give you the 10 or whatever for it. And people just forget about it, the fact that you didn't pay for the game. Whereas if you're going, hey, give me 40 for your game. Oh, by the way, we also want we have these cosmetics for you. And your cosmetics aren't up to snuff. It's like, well, not only did you charge me for the game, but now you're also giving me some lame-ass cosmetics. So I think that's why charging for a multiplayer game, if you notice, most of the successful games are all free-to-play. And there's a reason for that.
Well, so you say the most successful ones. I think the free-to-play ones also have the highest rate of failure out of the gate, don't they?
It depends if you do the game, if you're good or not. That comes back to, is it a good game where people vibe with it?
Right. No, there's a lot of variables.
If it's dog water and no one likes it, then your game's going to fail whether it's paid or not.
So,
so you actually have to make a good game. Look at Overwatch 2.
Yes. Right. That's a very good point. Shout out to, here's the thing. I won't say rest in peace, Highguard is still alive. Who knows? Maybe like Nib said.
Oh no, it's dying. It's going. It's going.
In borrowed time, maybe. I need to get my platinum. I've got 3 trophies.
Yeah, if you need any help, Nib, let me know. I'll jump on to help if you need anything. If it's anything you need a companion to do it with.
But you know what? If it dies, perfect time for marathon.
I was just gonna say, Marathon's got one less competitor. Shout out to Babor. Babor says, just watch the Sorrows trailer again. Wow. Yeah, it's going to be phenomenal, Babor. Absolutely. Let me say this. So I want to ask you guys a question. So Asus Xbox ROG Ally X. That's a long title. Experience has been overwhelming due to technical issues with the device per Asus. So they're having some technical issues, and that was reported. And my whole thing is this. My question for you guys isn't much on that because let's be honest, that didn't sell a lot anyways. We all knew that wasn't going to sell for $1,000. My question for you, Nib and Jay, I want to hear what you guys are going to say, Death Singer, is if Asus is having problems with the handheld like this and Microsoft kind of has their hands in the air being like, well, that's Asus. That's their thing. That's their problem. If Microsoft's next gen is going to be also third-party driven, right, and made with a lot... Is this next Xbox PC thing going to have a lot of issues?
No, I think they're going to have direct. Their dev team is actually going to work with them on it. I think
they worked on this one though with them.
The Asus ROG is mainly done by Asus, and Asus just basically fucked up. I mean, it's not the first time Asus has fucked up. If you understand Asus as a company, they fucked up with monitors before. They fucked up with peripherals, like. All these tech companies are fucked up at some point, right? So Asus just fucking up. It's just a technical thing that happened, and it wasn't going to sell a lot anyway. It's like it wasn't going to be a big seller. Like it wasn't going to do Steam Deck numbers or anything. But it's like it is what it is at that point. But I think the actual main Xbox, they're going to be way more. This actually has to work because of the price we're selling it at. Because if it's like a huge problem and you're charging like $1,000 for the PC I call it a console, but it's PC. Then it's gonna be really, really bad. So I think they'll be way more hands-on with this.
The thing is, though, right? If it plays console SKU games, SKU, then maybe. But if it actually just plays Steam games or PC SKU games, then it's going to be problems. Because one of the things with PC is the certification process is different, right? Which is why you have so much, like, I don't want to call it shovelware, but a lot of, like, smaller indie titles just go on Steam, very, very low budgets, people's first games, etc., and things like that. That's much, much more difficult to do on console. For a start, you actually need a development kit. You have to actually sign up and get approval from PlayStation and Xbox, etc., and they send you their dev kits. Even though they do have policies in place where they can get you them out discounted or free, depending on your variables and stuff, it's still a process. And then in order to get certification, the testing methodology and everything like that, the NDA disclosures and all the rest, it's much more complex than on making a game for a PC. So if Xbox is opting for that side, I think even the optimization process is going to be worse for them. And essentially gamers are not going to they're going to get even less value for money, because not only do you have a system that isn't as customized and will have Windows blow and things like that, but you will also have less optimization, like focus as well. So I don't know. Personally, it's not sounding like a good thing. Like, it's one of the benefits of console. That's
my thing. I'm with you, Nick. Yeah, I'm with you, Nick. I think this is going to bleed right over into that. And don't get me wrong, that's a great answer on your part. But I'll tell you the truth. Microsoft is so hands off on this on hardware with Xbox. The more it's PC and the less it's console, that's the more problems it's going to have. It really is. I don't know. Because the ROG Ally, think about it. It shouldn't be having problems. Isn't this the third one they made? Shouldn't they have gotten the kinks out by now? Like, they're still having problems with it. And Asus, listen, you're right. These tech companies do have their problems, but Asus is still one of the best in the monitor business, right? I mean, they're not like horrible company.
Well, they're not a horrible company, but they misstepped quite a lot. It's that a lot of these companies have misstepped, and it's like that's why people have what kind of brand you prefer. Do you currently? I prefer MSI as my monitor of choice. But then it's like, well, you could go Alienware, but then you're like, well, I could go Asus for my monitor.
I have 3 Asus in front of me right now. I have Asus everything.
Well,
I've got a question for you and Mooch, right? These days, on the latest version of Windows, etc., how much RAM do you typically need? Because I use mostly my Mac, so I don't actually pay attention to that stuff anymore. On a PC to run Windows, just generally, general tasks and stuff like that, different apps and all the rest of it, roughly how much RAM would you say is a good amount that you...
For just Windows?
For just Windows and background tasks and everything else,
I mean, Windows is around 3 to 4 gigabytes of RAM for operating system alone.
Right, but you'd want to go 16 at least.
Yeah, but the thing is, most PCs now, or people who are playing on PC, they generally have 16 to 32 gig on average anyway. But 16 is the minimum that you... No,
the reason I'm asking is because obviously the PlayStation 6 is now confirmed as 30 gigabytes of GDDR3. We don't know if it will have DDR for the OS like the PS5 Pro does. The PS5 Pro actually has 2 gigabytes of DDR5 in addition to the 16 gigs, which it kind of uses for the OS, etc. But as far as I know, Magnus, the Xbox Next console, it does not have DDR in addition to the GDDR7. And the rumor is it's going to be between 40 or I think up to 48 gigabytes. So the reason I was asking is I'm just trying to figure out in my head how much of that 48, if it did go for the 48 and not less, would they have to put aside to, have the full fat version?
Well, it also depends if they go full fat Windows or a more stripped down version of Windows.
Yeah.
Because if you're having a more stripped down version of Windows where you take like a lot of the stuff out that isn't gonna matter for it, like you're not gonna be doing like word processing or working on it. For example, you could take away a lot of stuff. So if they're using a lightweight version of Windows, then they can they probably will have enough RAM and everything. If you're using the full fat Windows, there's still only like 4 gigs of RAM. So I mean, a lightweight version will probably be what, 2 gigs or something. So I mean, it all depends.
Nah, the consoles use more than that, so it won't be 2 gigs, dude. You remember, you got to think not what's typical, but what's the extremities.
Oh,
so,
I was going off what PC. If like a lightweight version of Windows 11, like if Windows 11 now full fat uses 4 gigs, then it would probably use like 2 gigs, for example, right? Because you're cutting out a lot of the bloat to have a more stripped down version. So I think you'll be fine. Because the Xbox operating system is Windows basically anyway. It's just a customized Windows. Yeah, so it's like literally you're just not really gonna make much of a difference. So I think you'll be fine though. I think people.
Yeah, I'll be really curious because it's one of those things where obviously, like at the moment, there's already spec comparisons going on and this and that. And one of the things I've heard being said is, Xbox could have a RAM quantity advantage, right? Of 8 gigs or whatever. But I'm just thinking, will it actually be a real world 8 gig RAM advantage, or because of the OS and other things, is it actually just going to be put to other use, right? And even on the GPU side, it has more compute units. I think it has it's 54 versus 68. So it's like I think it's like a 15% delta, 16%. This generation, it was more than that. But then it won't have the Amethyst stuff, that stuff will come later with other AMD products. So, it could be a very interesting situation because if it's another situation where the paper specs seem a lot better, but real world performance is very similar, and yet you cost like considerably more, then the kind of market share penetration that they have is going to be significantly even worse than this gen.
I mean, it makes a valid point there. I to be honest with you, I think when it comes down to it, I really do think, and Dessinger, I'm going to get your take on it. Do you think it's Microsoft's kind of like last song? Is this their last song into hardware? This is like probably the end of the road. You see these issues coming up with the Xbox ROG Ally, and people are like, oh, this is going to be a smash hit. That wasn't really a smash hit. None of the handhelds. You said it was not a smashing success like the Steam Deck. I think latest Steam Deck numbers are what, 5 million, 6 million sold at most. And I think I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. I'll tell you something too. I actually downloaded Borderlands 4 on my Steam Deck because it's Steam Deck verified. Listen, it's playable. I dumbed it down as much as I could, and I put everything on performance mode. I'm getting about 40 frames on it. That's fine. It's playable, but the graphics on it look atrocious. It looks looks worse than Borderlands 1. You know what I mean, Detzinger? Like, so playing these games that are getting more and more.
What device is this on?
This is the Steam Deck.
Oh shit!
Like I tried to play Borderlands 4 on there, and it was like, listen, I'm not paying $70 for Borderlands for it to look like that.
Well, the thing is, it's like that's why the Steam Deck's like a companion device, right? It's not really a standalone.
It's not really. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, don't get me wrong. There's games like I'm trying to think here, maybe like XCOM or Hollow Knight that would look great on the Steam Deck. Like bigger games, AAA games, and I know a lot of people say, well, that's not what it's meant for. When Valve, that's what concerns me about Valve's next Steam machine is, and I'm tempted by it, but at the same time, it's like. They're like 4K 60 with, what do they say, FSR? What are they promising, FSR what?
No idea.
Right, but it's not going to be 4, so...
let me see.
Because it's interesting, like, listen, when they're doing their sales pitch and they're saying you're going to get 4K 60 with FSR, and I'm like, wait a minute, you're telling me, like, the guts inside there, and it's probably going to be a $700-800, and some people are saying $900 for the Steam machine, the new one. Like, to charge that, and I'm not going to I can't get over 60 without FSR. Isn't that like I don't know? Maybe you guys tell me if I'm wrong. Right?
Well, that's because it's using an old GPU. It's RDNA 3 GPU, right?
Okay.
So in order to power the games, you need to be using upscaling
Maybe it is
technology.
maybe it is
FSR and DLSS are basically mandatory at this point. Like they are mandatory technologies to get 4K, 120 or whatever.
Jay Slayer says I thought it was 4. Maybe it was 4.
Yeah, it is. Because the RDNA 3 GPUs officially support FSR 3.1, but FSR 4 is exclusive to RDNA 4, apparently. So I think it'll just be FSR 3. But you can mod FSR 4 onto RDNA 3. So it is possible. See, this is the thing. If they let you run around and tinker inside it, and you could do a bit of tinkering, you could probably get it running on there for the savvy enthusiast. But for the most part, it'll be fine. It's going to do what it's going to do. It's, you know,
the problem I have then, I guess, and we're waiting to see, so I'll keep my critique till we find out. But then and I'm okay with what you just said, that singer, but then price comes into play, right? Like if they're going to charge over $800 for it, I don't know. I
don't think it'll be 800.
I hope
it'll
not.
Be a bit less than that. Because it's using older PC technology. Yeah, sure. The price of RAM is currently an issue for them.
Right.
And SSD or whatnot. But if they can figure something out, they could keep that price pretty down because it's using old technology. It's not using like the latest cutting edge shit.
No, I do agree with that. I hope so, because honestly, that dollar amount is gonna really make an impact on that.
Well, it's not gonna sell gangbusters. It's not gonna do, but it's gonna do well, and it's probably.
I would hope it does. It'll do better than the Steam Deck.
I think it will, but like they're perfectly happy with they're overjoyed with how the Steam Deck's going. So if they can get they probably have a really low number of what they estimate.
I bet they're very happy with the Steam Deck numbers, especially when you look at all the portable handhelds and minus the Switch. Let's not go there.
Well, nothing compares to the Switch.
No, taking the Switch out of that market because it's a, it's a handheld console, which I guess you could say the same thing for the Steam Deck. However, I would like to see Valve put a little bit more power in these machines.
But the thing is, power comes with price.
Oh, 100%. But look at what the, and I know Nib went through this last week, so we don't have to go through it again, but PS5 Pro at, $699, sometimes $649. I understand that doesn't give you your Steam and your Steam game. I completely understand that. But if you're looking to just get into an ecosystem and you want one of the best things on the market, $649, $699 to get in with a Pro is, and I think we haven't even seen what PSSR 2.0 is going to do.
The thing is, it's all custom technology, whereas like the Steam machine, for example, all that is basically off-the-shelf PC parts. So like you could walk into your local Micro Center or whatever, and you could just pick up a GPU, pick up a motherboard, pick up some RAM, pick up a CPU, and then build yourself a Steam machine. Like that is essentially what the Steam machine is. There's nothing custom about it. So because it's all off-the-shelf parts, you have to go with what's the price of these off-the-shelf parts. So that's why they can't compete cost-wise for what you get performance, because you are constrained by the fact there's nothing custom. Like Steam hasn't personally gone, oh, we're gonna do this and this and this and this. They've gone, put these parts in the box, send it off.
Right.
So it's gonna be what it's gonna be. It's gonna be good though. But
it'll be interesting.
I mean, if you're in for the market just to utilize Steam, it might be an option for a pickup.
No, I do think so. It'll be interesting when the pricing comes out. We'll have a full run through on the show. We'll go through parts, we'll go through price, and see what the audience thinks. I do think it could be an entry level, like you say, PC for a lot of people if they wanted to kind of enter that space. So it's kind of interesting. Glintzer says Magnus will be a success and GTA 6 will be rated E. So Glintzer not thinking that's going to be great. I will say this. It's only 2 hours and 40.
Magnus will be a success, yeah.
Yes, it'll be. Well, he said it'll be a success if GTA 6 is rated E. which for everyone, which it won't be. It'll be rated M for mature.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know I don't know who this person is, but everything Xbox always does is going to be a success until it's not.
No, Glitzer that's tongue in cheek. He's joking. He's
okay.
Yeah, because he's saying GTA will not be E. That's what he's trying. Let me say this, dude. I would say shout out to the great chat tonight. Thanks to an amazing panel.
Hey, Mooch, before you end,
please, Death Singer.
Mugenics.
Oh, that's right. I apologize. Please do. Yeah, you did ask, and I had that on my notes, but I was like, okay, I went through all my notes, and I didn't see that last part. Go ahead, please. I want to hear about it.
Okay. So first of all, shout out to it being the first 90 of the year. Metacritic must play. Thoroughly deserved. The game is fucking bonkers.
Can you explain it to people? Like, what is it?
Right. Okay. So it's a cat breeding roguelike.
Okay.
Strategy RPG. It's right. So it's essentially, so you have an army of cats, right? And you have to go run through like a roguelike. And cats.
It's not 90, by the way. But yeah, carry on. Close enough.
Wait, it was.
With the news.
Wait, it dropped down to 99?
Yeah, but obviously if you only have a handful of reviews, it's always easier. But yeah, fair enough.
But either way, complete bad.
That Singer, say that again?
Once you complete a run,
yes,
the cats retire, right? And they live in the cat house.
Yes.
And then they will breed and they will give you kittens, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the kittens will take on the traits of their parents. So you have a constant replenishing group of cats. So then you have to decide like which cat is good. What what traits do they have? What did they carry over from the parents? So it's management in you have to breed the cats, but then you also have to run the roguelike, which is a strategy RPG, which is ridiculously hard. It's a wild combination, but it just works super, super well. Like, for example, one of the cats I have, it has autism and Down syndrome. That's a thing. You can get ADHD, Down syndrome, autism, cancer, explosive diarrhea, all kinds of different traits and whatnot. Also, a pro tip if you're thinking of picking up the game, get a Down syndrome mage cat, because it's really fucking good as a class. So, and
did you say a Down syndrome mage cat?
Yep.
Why is that of a benefit? Out of curiosity, how does
please.
the game?
Because the Down syndrome trait gives you a +1 to your lowest stat and a -1 to your highest stat of the cat. So if your highest stat is strength, you get a -1, and if your agility is the lowest, you'll get a +1. But then there's an item in the game which removes the debuff and gives you +20 in all stats, and it counters the Down syndrome trait. So it's like if you have a cat that has like autism and rabies, for example, you can do some crazy things against the bosses. And I know these sentences are strange as hell, but once you play the game, you actually understand how good it is as a roguelike. Like, it is probably one of the best roguelikes you could play, and it just has so much charm and character to it. And I suggest you play it. It is a difficult game. Like, the first boss, Fenrir, once you get to the end of the run, he will lay traps down, right? And you'll be like, well, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
The traps disappear, so now you have to play a memory game. Where did he leave the traps to? Whilst you're in the middle of heat of combat. But you can also lure the boss into his own traps if you can remember where the traps are. So now you have to play a memory game. And it's a wild game. And it's literally just you need to breed your cats.
So it's
do the run.
It's roguelike though, right? So you do that and then you start. Where does the game start over? Because is it when you die, or is it when you said the cats go to sleep?
When you die. When you die. And the thing is, there's permadeath in the game, right? So if your cat gets downed in a boss fight, and if it gets attacked, and it could either be by your own abilities, or the bosses, or the enemies, the cat will just die. so then you lose that particular character. So if you have a character with good stats, fantastic traits, you have the potential to lose that character if you mismanage it, right? And so that's why once you get to the end of the run, though, that great character will then become retired, and then he'll be a breeding partner for other cats. And then you just have to hope that, the kitten that comes out takes the father's stats, for example. So it's kind of part management, kind of breeding your own cat army, whilst also being a roguelike strategy RPG. And it is absolutely bonkers. It is fantastic. And everyone should try it. Unfortunately, it is PC exclusive. They said maybe at some point down the line they'll come to consoles, but it's a development team of 2. So
with a development team of 2, if it comes to console, it'll be like 2028. That'll take a while.
Well, but not to take away from their success. They did 150,000 copies in like.
Oh, did they?
12 hours. Oh yeah, the thing is absolutely flying. It's in the Steam top sellers constantly.
Well, when did it come out? Recently, didn't it?
It came out yesterday.
I was like, it just came out. Well, you say it's
I'm
always.
interested in it. I like these quirky games. It reminds me of. It doesn't remind me of, but in terms of like the vibe. What's the something with the lambs?
Cult of the Lamb.
Oh, the Lambs, yeah. I love
that's what
that
it reminded me of when I
game.
saw glimpses of it. That's what it reminded me of. I platinumed Cult of the Lamb. I really like that game. It got a little long in the tooth at the end, but that was because I went for the platinum. But like it was good. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. Would you say it has anything to do with that singer, or no? That's apples and oranges.
Wait, what was that again?
Does it have a likeness to Cult of the Lamb?
It does. Yeah, kind of. It does. Kind of. It's just like it has a bit of XCOM in it as well. It's like it generally fits in. The new part of it, it's like is the cats and the whole breeding mechanic and all that kind of thing to do with the cats. That's like the new thing. The actual gameplay is more reminiscent of other stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's good because it takes from these established games. It doesn't try and reinvent it, but what it does new is the abilities, but also the traits and having to breed your cats and whatnot. And it's like it sold 500,000 36 hours after launch. Now, for 2 people, 500,000 copies. That is, they said they made their money back after like 4 hours.
Well, stop and think about it for a second. That those kind of sales with 2 people, they were popping some decent bottles of champagne that night.
I mean, they made their budget back in 3 hours for the game. So like in 3 hours, they've already paid for the game and the hours for it. So everything else is just, and that's why it's so good. But the game has a lot of charm, and I think you should try it out because it is quirky. And
do they have a demo?
No, they don't have.
What's the cost of the game?
It's I think. What would it be? Let me check what it is for dollars.
Sounds like it would be either 20, 30, or 40, somewhere in that range.
Dollars. It is Mugenics is 30 USD.
Yeah, okay. I said, right in the middle. Okay, that's fine. I was going to say anywhere between 20 and 40 for something like that. Shout out to Crow. He says, no, Cult of the Lamb has a better colony sim. Would you call it Mugenics? He says has RNG.
Yeah, it has a lot of RNG. But the thing is, it's not a colony sim. It's like you just have to breed your characters.
Mm-hmm.
It's completely chaotic, just like the style of gameplay, because you constantly have to go back to your cat house, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, it's like you have to feed your cats and whatnot, and you have to breed them so you get better characters. And then you see a character who doesn't have whatnot, like good stats. You're like, okay, well that one's useless,
right? And
you also do get stray cats, and you can invite them into your house and look after them and whatnot. But it's like it's roguelike management sim, but the managing your house is the management part is a big part of it. So if you don't like having to manage stuff, like a management part of it, you're not going to like this game, because the cat house is a big part of the game. Apart from doing the run and whatnot, like you have to manage your cats. So it's very interesting. It's not like it's just something completely weird. There isn't another game like it. I don't think.
Well, that's cool. It's something unique, and you even caught Nib's interest, which is great. Crow says $26 is what he's seeing for it.
It's 26. I don't know.
No, that's all right. No, that's fine. I'm just giving a literal since I think Crow's playing it. So shout out to Crow for that information. No, the game is interesting. I'm kind of glad you brought it to light, that singer.
Well, it deserves it because it scored really well. It's selling absolutely fantastic. Like, it is doing so well, and it's well worth a pickup if you're into like strategy RPG / roguelike, because it mixes the two.
I'm gonna
It's
sound
not
like
an action game. It's a grid-based strategy game.
I'm gonna sound like you, that singer, right now. Between, just to be really honest, between Nioh 3, I'm still playing Ark on occasion, and a good amount, at least once or twice a week, and then. I'm trying to think here. There was another, honestly, I'm probably going to pick up, I don't know if I'm going to play a ton of it, but I'm probably going to pick up that God of War Spartans game and try that out. See how that kind of, because that's kind of cool, because I've been looking for a game. Like I said, I wanted to play Borderlands 4, just do a couple side quests and missions and stuff like that on my Steam Deck. That's not going to work out. So I'm kind of in the mood for something like, you turn in early, you're going to bed, and you're like, oh, but I'm so tired of watching. I've watched everything that's streaming that's worth watching, in my personal opinion. I'm sure there's something out there I haven't seen. But I wanted to just bring so I'll bring maybe the Portal up, and you can just kind of jam out on. I think that Spartan game's perfect for that. Actually, have you tried Mugenics with the Steam Deck?
Steam Deck, yeah, perfect game for it.
I was saying that might work out well.
Slam dunk. Like, if you have a Steam Deck, that is such a cozy game.
That might work.
Sit down on the couch and play. Yeah, it's one.
Maybe
of those
that'll be it then. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that'll be it. Like, you could play it your PC and whatnot, but if you're like, oh, I still want to play, but I want to have a lie down or sit on the couch.
I'm gonna check it out. I think you did a good job. Shout out to Crow as well. He goes, "Get this on Steam Deck if you can, Mooch." That's what he said just now.
Yeah, it is very much, this game 100% sells the Steam Deck. Like, if you don't want to,
I'm just looking for a game to use on Steam Deck. You know what I mean? Like my PS5 Pro, I pretty much play. I have one with my monitor. I have one on TV. I usually play on TV. And that's just the way I like to, same thing like I was saying, I'm sure RE9 would look great on my PC, my gaming PC. I'm playing RE9 on my PlayStation. I want to play that. People even said to me, are you going to stream? I'm like, I'm not streaming RE9. I want to play that game and just really get completely engulfed in it. I love Resident Evil to death. And I loved 7 so much. And then 8, I'm not using the word let me down, but I didn't like 8. I didn't like Village very much. I beat it, but I didn't love it. 9 is going back to the tried and true, if you will. You know what I mean? Just back to the old fashioned Resident Evil. I can't wait to get into that. So that's something that I really just want to kind of digest and have fun with. And then Marathon, I will be picking up on PS5 and on Steam. So that'll be fun. I'll be streaming that.
How far into Nioh 3 are you?
About 10 or 11 hours. I'm completely
Shit, so I
done.
already overtook you massive.
Say again?
What was the last major boss that you did?
It was it's all the mini bosses that are all through the first maps before you go into the Crucible. Like I'm at the Crucible. Like when you go into the
Crucible.
The first Crucible. But I've literally gone through every bit of the L-shaped or 2 or 3 maps. I've gone through and done everything.
I'm 100%ing it before every Crucible.
That's what I'm doing. So I have, how it says 2v2. Say again?
What's your thoughts?
Oh, I adore it. And the reason I do is because Nioh 2 just didn't, I stopped Nioh 2 probably halfway through. This one here, I'm not stopping. I love the fact that they have that open world aspect to it. And then the challenging mini bosses and the challenging bosses, that's great. And then honestly, the world could be a little more challenging, but before I open my mouth, let me get a little further in the game. Let's see if before the game, so I think the game does get a bit more difficult, right?
Further too, but the only complaint I have about it so far, and this is a complaint I have of a lot of games of this style, is that skill checks and challenges always in the bosses and not really in the world.
Right.
And as much as I really still enjoy exploring because there's constant reward, constant prizes and things like that.
Yep.
Yeah, it does sometimes feel a bit foddery because there's nothing to push me anymore.
No.
At least I like the fact that, and again, I'm not maybe later on in the game, I'll eat my words. I like the fact that, for example, in your, say, Elden Ring, for example, doesn't matter how high level I am, like a Crucible Knight will always fuck me up. Like a Crucible Knight, I always have to be a bit careful. Like you can't just, there's certain enemies you just can't take them for granted. You can't just pulverize them. You got to play a bit smart. And I wish this had a bit more of that, but that's still a minor complaint because you can still die if you were being silly and didn't pay attention, but it's just much harder to. Whereas the bosses, the skill check on the bosses are significantly higher.
Yes, I agree. Like, I mean, like the open world, like the bases that you clear out, and I've cleared out maybe 4 or 5, 6 bases. I don't know, 4 bases, 5 bases, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And they're just like, I don't want to use the words no effort. You know, I'm not trying to be like, I'm a Nioh, like, you know, guru, but like it's not very challenging. So I'm like, all right, you know, I mean,
I've actually beat the last few bosses I fought on my first try.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, like I had that with Elden Ring as well. I had that with what was the DLC called for Elden Ring? I forgot what it's called.
Oh, you don't mean Night Rain?
Shadow of the Erdtree.
Oh, Shadow of the Erdtree.
Shadow of the Erdtree as well. Yeah, but so I'm not necessarily complaining, but then again, like we kind of have ourselves to blame, right? If you 100% everything before you even get to the boss, then
you're OP. You're OP.
Yeah, you're going to be a bit OP, and maybe that's what we want.
Maybe what I should do is stop 100%ing it, go out there, play the game, and then go back and clear out the areas after for a little bit more challenge. But I mean, you know, it depends on. I always play the game where you can see even in the footage I have right now on screen, like I literally go in and out of every hut. And I clear every area, and I make sure I get every single chest. So, like, you're right. When you do all of that, there's a lot of reward for that. A lot of trinkets, a lot of different things you can wear, better weapons. And like you say, the game is kind of deep in the sense that it's not just the gear that you're wearing. It's also the leveling up of the elixir drops and more increased in the Crucible fights than... if you use the elixirs in there, right? Or defense, you take less damage. There's those things that are set up. There's also like all the loci stuff. Yes, you know,
so much stuff that
So like I say,
which I love.
I do. I love that. But if they ramped up the difficulty in the world a little bit, I think I would have loved it a little more. But I'm too early on. I mean, I'm only 10 hours in. Like I think the game is probably. I'm not trying to. You know, get the platinum in it, but just to 100% the game, just beat the game, it's probably a 30 or 40 hour run, right? Are you hearing more? Or you're at 30 now, and you're not probably. Are you at half?
No, it's definitely more than that. Dude.
Okay, so maybe it's 60 to 80 then.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe
I don't know.
The thing is, at the same time, I don't know how you complete this game without doing a lot of side stuff, because the bosses are just. You know, seriously hard. At least some of them.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm not gonna cut myself short either. And plus, I'm not part of the when you say, "Are you enjoying it, Mooch?" The reason I'm enjoying it is I like the exploration. So cutting myself short on that just to have more of a challenge on a boss it's asinine. That makes no sense. You know.
Exactly.
I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. But I beat the first boss that everybody said was really hard. I beat him on I'm not gonna lie. I died once, but I beat him on the second shot. Like
Did you honestly?
Yeah.
Damn, he took me like 10 tries.
Well, he does that running thrust, right, with a sword, and the minute he does that, you have two choices. You know for a fact he does the one big throw, wrap around. Sometimes he'll do two, right? He'll do a swift.
What were you using, samurai or ninja?
Oh, ninja.
Okay, so basically, this is another thing, right? I've heard quite a lot of people say, and including some YouTubers and streamers and stuff. This isn't me trying to put you down. You should use Ninja 100%. But they basically say that Ninja is the easy mode of the game.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
The hard mode. Yeah, apparently Ninja is considerably more. Yeah, because they don't do that much difference in damage, and they attack so much quicker.
So it's funny you say that. So I have, if you watch this footage here, you'll see in the beginning part of the footage of the game, I'm the ninja, and then towards the latter part now, I've really started to play primarily only as a samurai, because because the samurai, I didn't even know the easy thing, but like first of all, don't put it in the game then. You know, I mean, I didn't ask for it to be easier. I just, the thing is, the ninja gives you a you can attack from long distance with ninja. So it's and don't get me wrong, it's not like the fireball or the what is it called? Whether it be the star or the kunai, any of the things that you shoot, those are not making major changes on the enemy's like health bar, but it definitely does weaken them a bit. And then you just literally run in and you R1 and you're behind them, and when you're behind them, you get double the hit points. Yeah. So
I think what it is with ninja, you can build up a ninja to be like extremely offensive, where literally the enemy doesn't even have an opportunity to even attack you. It's just like bam, 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 bam,
right.
Bam, 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 special, power moves, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, and people say if you play aggressively like that, then you can basically bully the bosses.
Yes,
you can't really do samurai. You're gonna, at some point, you will have to do parrying and dodging, and
they should almost handicap it so that you cannot. You know what I mean? They should make it so that you can't do that, and you can only samurai against major bosses. That would be, they could have done that something in the story plot to where you couldn't do that. I don't mean where they just take it away from you. They make it part of the story plot where it's like you can do that in the open world, but when you're summoned into this, whatever, then you're only a samurai. You know what I mean? You've lost one of your powers.
But what if it's intentional though? What if they're saying, look, if you are struggling with this game, then we've given you the other tools and opportunities to make it slightly easier.
Yeah,
I don't hate that personally. Like, there's
don't
no
hate
part
it.
of me that's missing.
I don't hate it, Nib, but it's like if you were like a skilled locksmith, right? And you're like, I can break into anything. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, Nib, here's a series of 10 locks. By the way, here's also, in case you can't, a master key. And you're like, well, I'm not, I guess I'll just use the master key. You know what I mean? Like, I get what you're saying, and I don't mind it, but I have started using the samurai more and more because with deflect and a few of the other things that you get in the skill tree, I've found that to be a lot more fun. Also, I don't know if you noticed this, but some of the I call them mini bosses, but the ones that they say are formidable foes that are out in the world. If you're ninja and you go up against them, your attack is not as strong, so it's a longer fight. If you're samurai, you have with deflect, you're also hurting their ki, so you're setting them back, and then you have a much more powerful attack as samurai. Especially with the weapons I have with samurai, I'm using, the I don't know what the name of it is actually. Believe it or not, it's not the. It's basically what you're seeing on screen right now. It's basically like a bow with a massive blade on the end of it. You know what I mean? So those are slow to attack, but very, very, very strong. So I don't know. I have leaned a little bit more towards going samurai, but that doesn't. Yeah, I don't know. It's just weird that they put it in there. A lot of people love that they put it in there. I like that they put it in there. I don't love it. I would rather they
the thing is, though, I feel like even if you use Ninja, you can still have a hard time. It probably depends on the build, right? Because the thing with all these types of games, including Elden Ring, everything, when someone says, oh, it wasn't challenging for me, and another person says it was really hard, it doesn't necessarily mean that less skilled than you. It can just mean that they had a very inopportune build.
Yes.
Because with these games, like one build can literally be like, I can just close my eyes, and another build can be like fighting for my life here. So it really just, I guess some of it is luck, some of it is just trial and error. Testing different things and min-maxing.
Well, and like I said, I take all this what I said with a grain of salt. Shout out to Corey Massey in the chat. He says, Mooch, you're still in the first area. He goes, wait till you get to the second area. Hell, even some parts of the game beyond the first Crucible. So he's right. I'm really talking out of line right now because I'm not far enough. I'm only 10 hours in now. I've literally 100%ed the 2 or 3 areas of the map that I can go to, and now I was just about to go in the Crucible, and I was like, let me make sure I got everything in the map. Now I'm about to enter there, and who knows? Let's talk about it next week and see what I think then. I'll be a lot farther. But yeah, no, honestly, but the truth of the matter is I'm enjoying it, and I'm enjoying it more than the other Niohs right now. So that's something to be said.
I would actually say I'm loving it so far.
Yeah, it's very, very good. So, there's this game here, and then, we got Marathon around the corner. And then, that Spartan game or either the Resident Evil is in 2 weeks. So that's why I said the Spartan game might be funner than Mugenics. That may be something interesting, just because it's one of those games that I could play, on the go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I will say this though.
For example, Mooch, take a quick look in the DM.
Oh, sure.
On Twitter, that's one of the things. Like, for example, see how it affects your character to get the trait.
You have 5 seconds to make decisions.
You have 5 seconds to make decisions, or the cat acts on its own.
Yes.
So you only have 5 seconds to input a command. If you don't, that cat's just going to do whatever. There's all different kinds of... So it's like ADHD,
But will it prompt me for that specific cat?
Yeah, it will. Like, when it's each cat's turn, you need to know the trait. It's like, ADHD, or if it has rabies, you could see it visibly, scratching or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's obviously like you have narcolepsy, so at the end of your turn, your cat automatically falls asleep, and then you heal HP and whatnot. So you have like PTSD. So it's lots of things to play around with traits, and they would change the way gameplay works. It's like if you have ADHD, it's like, wow, I only have 5 seconds to make a decision. So
right.
It's actually crazy how
I'm definitely going to check it out, Dessinger, because that's...
I would.
Yes.
It's chaotic, but it's fun. Like, you're going to have things just randomly happen. Like, one of the traits is it at the start of its round, it will automatically use a spell at any target, right? You don't pick the target, so it could shoot a spell at one of your own cats, right? At the start of its turn. So you just don't know how the game's going to go. It's RNG, and it's crazy, and it's worth it. And also a special shout out to Replaced. I didn't need to play the demo to know it was a good game. The fact they didn't have voice acting is that kind of threw me off. Have you played the Replaced demo?
No, I have not.
Oh
yeah, how is it?
Oh, it's gorgeous, beautiful. The combat is kind of like Arkham style combat, and it's absolutely beautiful. Oh, the game.
How long is the demo? I heard it's not a very long one, which is not a problem.
It's like 20 minutes. It's like 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna get it.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick that up.
Oh, it's so worth that game. It's been so long in the making, and it's finally happening. And
that's that game. I'll just tell you right now, Nib, because you love game awards at the end of the year, and you love talking games of the year. I'm not saying it's going to be your game of the year, not in 2026, but it's going to be one of those indie darlings. So I recommend anybody that wants to be a part of that conversation pick up Replace, because you already see the media is drooling over it. So it's going to be in contention for a lot of discussion.
You either need an Xbox or a PC, though.
Yes, you do need
for Replaced.
Yes.
Yep.
It's not on PlayStation.
Yeah, the thing is, I want to see. I know it looks pretty, and I've been really hyped for it for quite a while.
That's why I want to try the demo, because I'm with you on this, Nib.
But
Go ahead.
What was that other cyberpunk type game?
Oh, that was I actually completed that game. I played it on Game Pass.
Yeah.
It was very cyberpunky. It was a looking top-down shooter.
Yeah, is it The Ascent or something else?
The Ascent. That was it.
Yeah,
yep.
The Ascent. Yeah. So that was another game which I thought looked beautiful, but when I actually played it, I would say it was decent, but it wasn't.
This
great.
game does give me those vibes, but I'll tell you right now, this game is probably going to be a lot better than The Ascent. The Ascent was
the combat. The combat is like straight out Arkham. If you like the combat in the Arkham game,
the combat in The Ascent was very mid-level.
Yeah. Very monotonous.
Monotonous, yeah.
So we'll see. Yeah. Like I am, again, as long as the gameplay clicks. Because you do get a lot of these indie titles.
I don't know.
Look really
Jay Slayer's asking, is that going to go into PC Game Pass? I would think yes, but I don't have confirmation on that.
It will.
It will, but I don't know if it will be there day one.
I believe it is.
It should be, right? If it's going to be on PC, it should be a PC Game Pass, wouldn't it? Right?
Yeah, it will be. Let me just double check. But yeah, Game Pass, Play Anywhere. Yeah, PC Game Pass.
Yeah, PC Game Pass. There you go.
Yeah, it's there. Yeah, of course it would be, because it's like Game Passes across the board.
Right.
But yeah, that game's going to be a fantastic pickup. I have a feeling it's going to be a pretty short game, which I'll appreciate. But I don't think that's going to be like a 40-hour game or anything.
No. But I will check out the demo. I do want to give this week's award for keeping the podcast 30 minutes longer goes to Death Singer. Death Singer wins this week. Wow. Nib, I hate to be...
No, I mean, I'm done now, though.
Well, I didn't want to dethrone Nib. I mean, he had literally 13 weeks going strong. I didn't want to dethrone him, but it happened today. I think that everybody should be aware of who the new champion is, and we'll see if Nib can reclaim the crown next week. We literally went, I think, about 35 minutes after I was like, well, I wanted to go play a game and stuff, but because I have to work in the morning.
I had to get the bars off about Mugenics.
I know you did. No,
and to be honest, I'm glad you did.
I am too.
I will say, for all, actually, I think he's banned now, but, Astro, Cyborg, and all the other haters who it's funny because he's banned, and this is probably the most gaming-centric podcast that's been in a while.
Right.
It's like very little business talk this time.
Yeah, well, it still would have found a way. They always find a way.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's just like I needed to highlight it because a lot of people are going to skip it because it's not your typical game. And Corey Massey in the chat was like, "Oh, so you spent all that for that game, like 1800 on your GPU or whatnot?" But it's like the thing is, my taste in games, this is like right up there. This is like top of the list. So naturally, of course, I'm going to buy it regardless. And it's like I can't help it if you have a limited taste in games. Sure, will I play RE9? No. Will I play a lot of these big AAA games? No. But that's because I am invested in like RPGs and smaller games, which are a bit more interesting. And then might not be as big production value, but I mean, Mugenics will be one of in the top set of games this year, meta-wise, for example. And a lot of people aren't going to play it because it's only on PC, which is just the way the cookie crumbles. It's not on consoles.
By the way, Ken is like 87 as well. So if it were, I would just say to anyone listening, if you really care about that sort of thing, like higher rated indie games, then check out Ken as well.
And I'm sure replacement is going to be high 80.
I would think so.
I mean, what a start to the year, right? What a start!
It's killer right now. It's killer. We haven't even hit the stride yet, guys. I mean, really. I mean, not no disrespect at all to the games that are even out, but we have not even hit that stride. I am beyond excited for 26. I mean, everyone said that 25 was supposed to be great. 25 is not going to be able to hold a candle to 26. So, I mean,
the thing is as well, even movies wise, like Odyssey. I've been looking forward to watching Odyssey for since I've heard he's making it.
Yeah, same here.
And Dune Messiah, like I get it's me personally, but Denis Villeneuve is one of my favorite directors. And Dune 1 and 2, literally I would say they're in my all-time favorites. So it's very hard to get like an amazing trilogy. Usually like films in between drops the ball. So I am a bit nervous, but the fact that I'm getting that and Odyssey and Spielberg's new movie and all these other amazing, the guy from Northman and all of this other stuff. It's just like, man, we are feasting. And then GTA 6 as well.
GTA 6,
just insane. Yeah,
I see.
There's like all these. I think there's like I said, 30 games. Like I think there's like 28. I'm interested.
I saw your list of left side was games, right side was movies, TV shows, and you're like, there's nothing. This is like unmatched, unparalleled. And honestly, I can't argue with you. I think it's just going to be a phenomenal year for media across the board. Whether it's gaming, movies, TV, I'm excited for it. I just hope that nothing gets delayed.
I need to add to that. This year is going to be great for anime as well.
All right, that one I'm going to go ahead and say that is awesome. I'm not going to extend the show on anime, Death Singer.
No. Right. I'm just saying in total media, like games,
not that there's anything wrong with it. No.
I was just saying it's a big year, as Nib said, for movies and games. it's also a big year for anime as well, which is another form of media.
This is very true.
TV shows and stuff as well. You got
the
new Game of Thrones spin-off and all this other stuff, man.
It's also going to be a big year for Mooch over on twitch.tv. Go over and follow me there after the show, guys. Please remember it's M00CHTV. It's going to be huge over there, guys. Listen, thanks to everybody here. I'll give a couple shout outs to the folks that left after we take care of these great gentlemen that were here with me the entire time. The great Death Singer, everybody. Death Singer, as always, you do not disappoint. The entire audience was here for you, especially Babor. Babor comes only for Singer content. But Death Singer, let everybody know where they can find you, and thanks for being here tonight, buddy.
Oh, you can find me everywhere. Great show. I got to gush about Mugenics, which I'm really happy. By the way, go out and purchase Mugenics if you have access to a PC. If you don't, at some point it may come to consoles. And
is it on Mac? Out of curiosity.
Honestly, it's wherever Steam is. I think Steam is on Mac. So.
No, I play Steam games on Mac all the time. Yeah, I play Hades
so
too.
If you have access to Steam, you have access to the game.
Sweet. All right, I'll check it out.
Where was I? Oh yeah, great year for games. Like this year is better than last year, which I thought last year was the pinnacle of what gaming could be. But this year seems to take the cake. And as an RPG lover, these past 2 years, including this year, is just peak. We are at the pinnacle of what the genre can do. So it's just great. Enjoy your games. And yes, I said it's a 6 out of 10. The state of play, it's my opinion. What are you gonna do?
You got to just enjoy it. That's what you got to do. That's you're great to have you, buddy. I appreciate it. The great Nib, everybody. Nib, thank you for joining us as well. I really did. Like you said, tonight was a very wholesome, lot of gaming talk, not just, of course, on the state of play, but the state of 2026, which is fantastic. Nib, let people know they can find you, buddy, and thanks for being here tonight.
Thank you. Yeah, really good discussion. Great state of play, and just like we've been discussing, amazing year for media in general. But yeah, it's just on X, NIB95_.
Go over and follow Nib, guys. Honestly, he legitimately does such a great breakdown of everything that's going on in the news, and he gives you charts, he gives you opinions, he gives you facts. Go over and check him out. Nib is a phenomenal guy over on X and great on the podcast as well. Nib, thank you so much. The great Wise Old Gamer had to leave earlier, but go over and check out Wise. Wasted with Wise is tomorrow at 6 p.m. Brap, coach is out there. Well, one day, I talk to Brap all the time. He'll be back on the show at some point, but Brap is coaching somewhere, somehow. But he is doing a Brap wrap-up, I think, right now. So if you want to go over and check out Brap, go over and check him out. Tell him Mooch sent you. Shout out to the Crap Gamer. Crap will be joining us occasionally. He writes me and he's like, yeah, I can make it this week. So when he can make it, it's always great to have Crap. Shout out to the Crap Gamer. It's Crap Gamer Reviews on YouTube. And it's _Crap Gamer over on X. And the great Jay Bari. Guys, go over and check out Jay Bari. Jay Bari's channel's been on fire right now. It's at @JayBari_ and Jay Bari over on YouTube. Go over and check him out. It's just phenomenal content. He does gaming content, opinions, news, everything. Guys, outstanding. Thank you guys so much for the super chats. It's been fantastic. Hit the like button if you're still here. 187 people. If you weren't here in the beginning and you're here now, hit the like button. Trust me, I know people say this and you guys think it doesn't matter. It means the world of difference to the algorithm for YouTube. If you guys hit that like button, it really does help the channel. And we will be over on twitch.tv, Mooch TV over on Twitch this Saturday, playing some more games as we ramp up and get ready for the new games that are coming out end of February and into March. So you don't want to miss that. Shout out to Blaze 4K as well and Lazy Vibes. Go over and check them out on Twitch as well. We'll see you guys next Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Until then, peace out, good night, and like that singer said, go play some games. Good night.
Later, guys.